Alive.
And we're live. Yes, we are. It took a
Yes.
minute for Twitch to catch up.
It is fine. It is
It is
fine.
fine.
Okay, I'll
Yeah, I'm actually glad I meant to. What I think I did send you a WhatsApp message. I don't remember now. Being like, "Hey, are you busy today?" Because I was going to be like, "We should watch the things." Kind of glad I didn't. Now it sounds like you need to fucking rest.
well, yeah, I only woke up a few hours ago, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And now we wait the uncomfortable wait.
Yeah, the uncomfortable bit.
Just gotta sit here and like I don't know.
We'll just awkwardly just have no. We'll just say nothing until someone says something.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
It'll
We'll
be
do.
really, it will be awkward, and everyone will
We'll
hate it.
totally not fucking do that because I will die. I'm going to go look for
Okay.
other Kittimer Alliance ships now because I'm just like I'm just curious.
Mm. And hey, Excal.
Hello.
Just posting stuff on Discord so people know that a stream is happening.
Yes, good. Oh, I should have
Boom!
good. Hello, Shane. It's Alexcal. I should have mentioned actually the Gagarin class that I was flying about in that I showed you.
Mm.
That was actually in Picard.
Was it? Where was that?
It's in the fleet in season two,
Ah, okay. There is so
Al-
much there, yeah.
along with the Sagan class Stargazer and everything,
Mm.
which is also an STO ship.
And hey, Goth and Grox and RNG. And Carmichael.
Hello.
Excellent.
Oh, Grox, I sent Wib the picture of your Neb Celsior. Both me and Wib called it a Neb Celsior, and we like it.
Yes, it's a very fun design. Um, I'll tell you what. Shall I? If you're okay with it, with it, Grox, I can show it off on stream so people can see your ship design. But I won't just do it in case
And then
you
we
don't.
can compare it to all of these designs we're going to look at today. Ah, there's the stream elements.
Okie dokie. Let me just. I'm just like, okay, how do I work OBS?
Fine. Oh, how is everyone today aboard the DERF class USS Keith? Ah, terrible, really. We're in a fucking DERF. I think we're going to see some monstrosities today, though,
Oh
because
yeah,
we're not looking at Starfleet now. It can
yeah.
get weird.
It can get weird. Yeah. So this is something that Grox has made,
Hmm.
which is a venture class,
Yes.
and yeah. So it's sort of got the. It's obviously built on Excelsior, sort of like parts design here. But
Refit Excelsior.
has got the AWACS thing from the early Nebula,
Yeah.
which is an interesting mix.
Uh,
And again, the nacelles are kept close into the body
yeah.
rather than being put on a pylon that's 15 feet long, um, which I
Also,
think.
I believe Grok said in the last stream he decided to use that AWACS thing, so it looks like it could be something that was probably put on the Excelsior later. Like it's a previous design, they just modular kind of whacked on.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, no, that's that is decent. Good work, Rox.
Mm.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, press all the buttons.
Everything
Remember
is
how to do.
fine.
Oh shit, that's the thing. I completely forgot to put some music in the background. Let's grab some of that.
Oh yeah. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. 100 hours of warp core noises. No, that'll be for the stream where I fucking draw some. Oh Jesus, Ark! Why did you? No, stop. Bad. Oh, this is the logical evolution of Sabaton. Are you all fucking happy now?
What's this now?
there's epic metal that is devoted to the American Civil War. Hence why I said this is the logical evolution of Sabaton. Look what you've all done.
Yep. Oh, Sabaton. Saxon for the people who are under 30. My stance on Sabaton is that I just do not quite get them. They're fine. I just don't get it. I think it might be
bad. I will slap you, sir.
I think it's because I think a lot of people have said things like, "Oh, they're just so heavy," and I'm just like, they're not. That's not the kind of music they are.
Power metal isn't heavy. Like it's happy.
It's that thing where I say the joke of I listen to ska bands heavier than Sabaton, like
yeah.
Which is just a little strange to me. Oh, we've got by the way, we've got the ambient music from Star Trek Online.
Yes, good choice.
I thought that would fit.
Good choice. Oh, have you seen the new episode of Lower Decks yet?
I haven't yet, because I've either been working or asleep.
Guess what we are doing after this stream, motherfucker.
Okay. Mephistopheles are quite good. It's been a long time since I listened to them, actually. I really should listen to them again. I should say my general distaste for Sabaton is not a judgment on anyone who likes them.
No.
Music appreciation
Unless
is
you
subjective.
take them way too seriously.
Or if you treat it like there's... I do get a little bit frustrated with people who treat it like there is nothing slightly untoward about the way they address certain topics, because I think some of it's a bit iffy. But I
think that's the other thing, Agamemnon. To me, power metal should always be goofy and self-aware. It should be big dumb cod pieces and amazing like choruses everyone sings to, and not about. It should be about punching goblins in the face, not the trenches.
I was saying, I don't like. None of this is to like put any judgment on anyone who really likes Sabaton at all. The only band I will actually judge you for liking is Oasis, because I fucking hate them, and my hatred of them is perfectly rational, and I will hear no disagreement. Why was there ever an argument about who is better, Oasis or Blur? Blur are obviously the superior band because they are not Oasis. You know how I think everyone has that? There's like one band that they just irrationally hate so much. And they might even play a genre they actually quite like.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I actually have two. It's Oasis and UB40. Fucking hate UB40.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that immediately hits my mind other than Oasis, but it's not coming to me. There was probably some new metal stuff I just despise.
You see, I find new metal charming.
New metal's fascinating as an era.
I have one of my guilty pleasures is listening to Slipknot's Iowa album.
It's a good album.
Mostly because what will happen is I'll listen to the Doom 2016 album and I'll go, what, is there anything else like this? And then I remember that the kind of real percussive style of metal is what Slipknot did. So
Slipknot is just the percussion in Slipknot stuff's incredible.
And I kind of prefer them before they grew up. If you know
that's fair. That's fair. I mean, they needed to, but also that's fair.
Yeah. I think they've definitely started making better music, but I just like the worst music better.
Yeah.
Thank you, Weird Soup, for the subscribe. Thank you very much.
The band I hate is the Venga Boys. Not anything in particular, but for some reason it screams creepy early internet Swedish porn. That's extremely specific, but okay.
UB40, any relation to WD? No, UB40 is the name of a form.
WD-40 is useful.
Yes, no, UB40 was a form you filled in when you signed in at a job centre in the UK at the time when they were formed. Because
Okay.
they're like a reggae band, and reggae and ska bands in the 80s had a real political bent to them. Well,
Mm.
it was frequent for them to have a
Yeah.
political bent to them, which is why the specials are better than Madness, because they had a lot more to say.
What about Insane Clown Posse? I have no feelings towards them.
I think
Honestly.
I think Homies is quite a charming song.
Hmm.
Not really. They're not really my thing. I'm not generally the hugest into the rap music. I like bits and pieces, but it's not my genre overall. So I'm not the most. Yeah.
Oh, the members
Yes,
of
Mod Hell. That is
UB40
true.
and each
Yeah.
other in the doll cute. Yeah, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Anyway, shall we do what we're here to do, which is suffer for the amusement of everyone?
Okay. Yes, we should. We should. All right. Okay. So which one shall we do first? Because we have 3 books to do.
Hmm.
I feel like we should because we've got the Klingon, the Gorn, and the Romulan. Now I
Hmm.
had a quick skim through just to see length.
Hmm.
Why? You know.
I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah.
So I kind of feel like we should probably start with like either the Romulan or Klingon because they're the more known.
Yeah.
And
And
have
also
the Gorn in the middle.
although the Gordon one is 15 pages long,
It is short, but I feel like we should put that one in the middle.
but I think it's entirely fan made.
I think it is as well. Yes.
Although it looks pretty well put together, actually. Okay,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
no, good job to them. This is way better put together than some of the stuff we saw earlier. Okay, do you want Romulans or Klingons?
You know what? Let's go Romulan, and we'll finish up on Klingon because I think the
Uh,
Klingons.
the ship on the cover already hurts my soul.
Yeah. Okay. Let me. Boom. There we go. I remembered how to do streams. Good. But yes. So this is the Romulan Ship Recognition Manual from the FASA Star Trek role-playing game. And I don't think this one's been modified. I think this one is just the base thing.
Possibly, yeah. You know, it's hard to fucking tell, honestly, until you
It's
get right in there.
you get these things like because there's some games that obviously official support wraps up on very very soon, relatively speaking, and then people
Yeah.
take over like fan
And
support.
this is, oh god, wait, it might say on the cover somewhere on this. No.
Was the IS
Copyright 1985.
Yeah.
So,
This is,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so let's go through this. So.
Give me an F, give me an A, give me an S, give me an A. Put it together, what do we get? Derf.
Derf. I hope everyone has taken the derf into their heart. By the way, for people that were here for the stream on Thursday where we went through the Federation ships,
You missed the time.
I mean, it was great. But I did put up the Royal Sovereign and Wellington ships on Twitter to have people vote to say which one was the worst one, and it was the Wellington that won in the end. So or lost, I guess. So
I just want to tell you, I just went, checked the resource we're using for the other ship recognition manuals. There's 2 fan-made ones here that are Federation and Romulan post 2385. So that's post Nemesis.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
And the first thing in here is the Bismarck class battleship. That's just a Galaxy. But it's got the Galaxy Dreadnoughts, like extra phaser strips on the nacelles.
Yeah.
And a Federation class dread. Oh god, that's that fucking TMP one with the extra. Oh.
Sniper Derf as an emote. Unfortunately, I don't know. Trying to get something that is recognizable as a Derf that small might be kind of difficult.
Yeah, like the Enterprise works, but
because it's such a recognizable shape. Whereas the Derf,
I have the Enterprise.
But yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Stop looking at this other book because oh boy.
Anyway, yeah, so let's go. So, the Romulan Star Empire maintains a heavy navy about 3/4 the size of Starfleet. This large modern navy is considered to be of major importance in attaining the road to the stars, as the Romulan designate their national goals, and in maintaining the security of the Star Empire.
I feel like they're not into the Empire part as much yet. You know when they go full fucking militant weirdo?
Yeah, because at this
They
point...
kind of always were militant weirdos, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, because at this point, so canonically, this came out when the only things we'd seen of the Romulans is the TOS stuff. So we'd only really seen them as a somewhat, I guess, a somewhat militaristic, but mostly isolationist
Yeah.
faction.
Yes. That T-shirt, Sub Commander Samus, is made by. I need to make sure I say this right. Gays in space. It's made by them. You can find them on Twitter.
Good. That's
In fact,
fun.
I fucking sent you that in a DM the other day, you bastard.
Yeah, I apparently just forgot. You know what I'm like.
I know.
But
or
yeah.
it's just everyone kind of ignores me in the
Hush.
Twitter chat sometimes.
Hush. I shall...
In the best way. I ramble.
Yeah, no, I never ramble or anything.
There's a better tweet with images.
Good.
No, it was like, it wasn't that... Okay. It wasn't that Roddenberry thought the Enterprise model should have... Or looked... thought it should have been upside down. It's that during his first presentation to Paramount, it fell over and went upside down, and he thought it looked better like that because he was wrong.
And everyone,
things.
And thankfully, everyone convinced him that that was the wrong opinion.
I'm pretty sure it was probably just Matt Jeffries beating the fuck out of him.
It was like, don't you fucking do this. Don't... Like, I know this didn't happen until, like, a decade later, but don't you fucking Blake Seven me on this. Yeah, fun fact, the Liberator from the British the British TV show Blake Seven was designed as the model to be going one way, and then when the special effects team got the hold on it, they accidentally filmed it going the other way, and yeah.
And because budgets are a thing, they're just like, well, we're...
Oh, fucking hell, Blake. Oh, Blake Seven is a time.
Yeah.
I like Blake Seven, but it is a rough watch at times.
Yeah.
Okay. The first ship that we have for today is the M4 Wings of Justice.
Wings
class
of Justice!
Class 9 troop transport.
If a zombie outbreak occurred in the Star Trek universe on your vessel, on which ship would you rather be? A Galaxy class? Plenty of fucking room.
And then you can get everyone to either the top or bottom where is necessary and eject the rest of the ship.
Yeah, fair point.
Or possibly the best one for that would actually be one of the rare times that the Prometheus would be a good use for something. Because it can...
No, Andy Dick's still on board. Andy Dick is still on board.
Yeah, you make sure the zombies go on the bit with Andy Dick.
He's a hologram. He can go between every fucking deck.
But can he manifest in all three parts when they are separate?
I imagine he can manifest everywhere because he's that bastard.
Do you mean everywhere in the galaxy? You're never safe from Andy Dick.
If you're on a Prometheus, you're never safe.
Oh, God. Okay. So yeah, this is just a little transport. It's fine. I have no strong feelings about it. It looks like the sort of ship that would be made quickly by the model department to be used in the background of an episode of TNG.
Sorry, hold on. Crew of 84, troop complement of 1800.
They cram them in on those old ships.
270 meters long. Okay.
Okay, so yeah. The vessel likely is named in reference to the following quote: "A Romulan soldier will lead the way and secure the foundations of the road to the stars, for he will be born on the wings of justice."
Wow. Well then.
Interesting. Oh, now we have Nightwing. The
Oh,
N8.
actually, Modhill, you should maybe watch, like, I think it was the first episode of Lower Decks. It deals with the zombie problem pretty well.
Mm.
It was really funny. Well, no, Tana's bits were really funny.
That's because Tana is one of my favorite characters
She
in
strapped them
anything.
down, double strapped twice if you need to. They, they won't infect each other by biting, it's fine.
I am glad that we got another wildly grumpy.
Gosh, I don't think the first episode's the weakest, I think, but it gets better pretty quick.
Yeah, I think the first two episodes are the weakest, and I think the first episode is the weakest.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
they're, like, bad. Though.
Yeah, I don't think they're bad. As I've said this many times, but I think the most bewildering thing is that the worst scene in the lower decks is the first scene of episode 1.
Yeah.
Where it's just yelling and very Rick and Morty shit.
Yeah, and then it just stops.
And then it just stops doing that. And the bit that bewilders me mostly is that
was the trailer.
That was a trailer. They put that out unedited as a trailer, and it's like, why did you do that? Like, I saw that scene and I was like, oh god, I'm not gonna like the lower decks. Oh, it's gonna suck. Oh god. Oh, I don't like it when I don't like Star Trek.
Yeah. Oh, Agamemnon, I can answer that. Because they didn't draw it like an engineer would.
Yes.
Because you would do the engineering drawings in such a way that you could, like, you basically just do all the guidelines and then you could use that for each bit and then it worked. Yeah, no, they didn't do that.
But yeah, that's, yeah. It's fine. It's got a bit of an ass on it.
It does. It kind of looks a bit more beastly than Birdie, come to think of it, with
a little
the
bit
patterning. Yeah.
A little bit, although I do like, because they do a lot of this, of the wing pattern, which we'll see later in relations to the, what we now think of as the Klingon bird of prey. Which is interesting.
Yeah, which was originally designed to be Romulan.
Honestly, until Strange New Worlds came along, Lower Decks could safely claim to have the strongest first season since TOS.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the first season of TOS is...
Oh, no, well, since the first season of TOS.
Yeah.
Because that is really strong. There's a couple of them, but there's like...
I guess it's just because I think like most of the... I mean, I actually come to think of it, I think it's because most of my favourite episodes of TOS are either late Season 1 or Season 2.
Hold on. We're doing this, fuckers. You're in for it now. Okay, Episode 1, The Man Trap. Fine. Episode 2, Charlie X. Episode 3 is The Pilot, Where No Man Has Gone Before. Episode 4 is The Naked Time, which is always a good laugh. Episode 10 is the Carbomite Maneuver. 11 and 12 are the Menagerie parts. Then you got Conscience of the King, Balance of Terror. Right after that, Galileo 7 at 16, Squire of Gothos, Arena with the Gorn, Space Seed, Devil in the Dark, Errand of Mercy, first appearance of the Klingons.
So that's the thing. A lot of the it's late Season 1. There's like a lot of the ones that I like.
It's like
my
10 episodes in. Come on.
True.
It's not that bad, and like none of them are like painfully bad until you get.
Oh yeah, true. Although saying that, actually, I think I got a little. In my head, the order is a little messed up because I realized when looking through the broadcast order, when we were looking through the first issue of, I was looking through the first issue of Starlog because I am who I am.
Yeah.
I noticed that some of the episodes in the order I saw them are out of order because I think the way I saw them, I think it was is it Charlie X? No, it's not Charlie X.
Charlie X is episode 2 in release order.
Yeah, because the one that was the first one in the list was the one where what's his name? Is it Gary something?
Gary Mitchell.
Yeah, when he gets he becomes a god.
That's episode 3 for some reason. I would have said that was before the series as well because it's the pilot, but that's just me.
Very strange. Yeah. But anyway, but yeah, Lower Decks has a very strong.
Sorry.
But yeah, yeah. No, I mean to be fair, TOS has the interesting thing of it having a weak third season.
Second season, the first like 1.5 seasons were pretty good.
But it gets season. I mean, you get into the Spock's brain territory by season 3, so
Yeah.
And we do not talk about Spock's brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, in all, I think Lower Decks probably does have one of the strongest like seasons out of the gate. Even if say there was something like someone really really likes Picard, I feel like Picard is too mired in.
It's too serialized for you to be like. It needs to be an episodic show for it to have the like, is this a strong first season or not vibe? Because you don't know the full story in a serialized program.
Yeah, Discovery has the same issue, although admittedly the worst season of Discovery is the first one. It took until season 3 before it really found its feet.
Okay, I am zipping through some of these, just scrolling to see what we're going to come up against.
Yeah, we'll
Oh no, you take whatever amount of time you thought. Yeah. I was just so fucking curious, and it's like, this is an interesting time.
Oh yes, we do talk. Sorry, I was saying to Usclack, yes, we do talk about Big Spock. We always talk about Big Spock wherever possible.
Oh yeah, did we not do a fucking podcast on it?
We did a whole podcast on the Infinite Vulcan.
Yeah.
We've got a Nova class. They look a bit different here.
Yeah, they look a wee bit different. What I was going to say is, this comes from an interesting time when there was no TNG Romulan designs yet.
Yeah, so everything's riffing basically on the Bird of Prey, the original Bird of Prey.
Yeah. EVH, I think the worst season of Discovery was the whole of Discovery. The show wasn't about Star Trek, it was about Michael Burnham, and the writers didn't shine there.
How much of it have you watched, Mutanto? The show is about Michael in that they are the main character, but that's not unique to that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the third season, the whole premise of the third season is about bringing hope to a hopeless galaxy. So
yeah,
I think that's pretty Star Trek. You can dislike the way it was executed, certainly. I think the biggest problem Discovery has had, though I haven't fully watched the most recent season, I'm only a few episodes through, is pacing. That's the biggest issue Discovery's had. Is that whenever it's got something good, it tends to rush through it, and whenever it's got something a bit tedious, it tends to take 3 episodes. But it has improved wildly over the whole thing. You should do another podcast on the Infinite Vulcan. Just every episode you watch and talk about
the Infinite Vulcan podcast.
We just watch it and then just try and riff on it each time. Just try and come up with new things to say about it.
I don't know. I think it would end up with us incoherently screaming "fucking Big Spock."
Yeah, an episode just becomes us.
I created a perfect life form. No, you just made Spock and made him bigger.
I like Discovery mostly because it was new Star Trek. It was Star Trek I was around for and what wasn't before my time. Yeah, I think that's the other big thing is that when I know I myself have used the term like, oh, it's just Star Trek, but like let's be perfectly honest. TOS is nothing like the TOS era movies, which are nothing like Next Generation, which is nothing like, say, Enterprise, which is nothing like the Kelvinverse movies, which is nothing like Picard / Discovery. What Star Trek has been and will be is many things, and it depends on like the time that it is made in. It's like they have as Xcloud just said, they're shared DNA, but they are different things. Like one of the things when I went back and rewatched TOS that I was most kind of shocked by after having not seen it for like a long time, but had watched lots of the 90s, well, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, because it's a long run. Stuff it was so different in tone. It's interesting. Like, none of this is to say you have to like the new stuff, because of course you don't. That'd be an absurd statement to make. Or that you're wrong for disliking the new stuff, because again, that would be an absurd statement. But just, I feel that when people talk about Star Trek, much like when people talk about new Star Wars, or indeed anything that has a new version of it made after a significant gap.
Oh, Lord Sino, please, I can only get so hard. That's a perfect quote. I wish I could do a Leonard Nimoy impression right now.
Yes. Is that... whenever there's these new things, like, these are things, sometimes they are for a new generation. They're an attempt to remake something for a new thing, and it's very easy to slip into this very reactionary idea of that because it's not the thing I remembered, then that means it's bad. That doesn't mean that the new stuff is good either, but it means that if we restrict media to just being one thing, then it becomes very boring, and the idea of a solid canon is a very recent phenomena in stories, because beforehand people would just riff on stuff all the time.
Fans would get shitty about canon, and TV producers wouldn't give a shit.
And before TV, like, you'd have things like where people would just, you have things like Sherlock Holmes, which are a bunch of vaguely connected stories that some of them have continuity, but also some of them don't. It's
the fucking Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah, they're sort of like vaguely connected, and it's and that's sort of like how things were. And you get back before even the concept of copyright, and people were just riffing on each other's stories constantly, and the idea of a consistent canon to a shared world is just like weird. Would be weird to people. Like, I don't know. I find it's been said by a lot of people, but the concept of a hard canon is perhaps the worst thing to happen to media.
And it fucks up creativity.
Hitchhiker's Guide is very different between each version of it. I believe I have read, listened to, and watched every version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And it is fascinating how they differed for saying they're all made by the same people. Because even the movie, which I don't like, the screenplay was written by Douglas Adams. So.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a somewhat deeper thing that I meant to go on. Again,
we went on a ramble.
Yeah. Again, no judgment to anyone. Who doesn't like the new stuff. It's completely fine to dislike new stuff.
On that subject of, like, especially since we're talking about ship design, it's like me and Wib both said, we're not a big fan of the new Discovery Klingon ships.
Yeah, no.
And then I went, I do like the Cleave ship because it's very Klingon, but that's about it.
Have I played Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Yes, I remember trying to play it when the BBC hosted it, because it used to be hosted as a text-based, like just a website. A visual. There's a visual novel. Are we talking about the text-based one that had a visual aspect added to it, or are we talking about a legitimate visual novel? In which case, no, I have not played that one, if that is a thing.
Well, it was on the website. It was an actual computer game.
Yeah, I know. That was my point. It was hosted on there, but it was an old text. It was just a text-based game. It was a computer thing. Yeah. I know. I'm old. Everyone remember, I am in my mid-30s.
You made a giant sword and attached a giant set of engines to it. Yeah, that's very Klingon. If they could make a ship that just was several bat'leths welded together, they would.
Oh, yeah. No, 35 or 36 rather is not in fact that old, but in terms of technology, you certainly feel it.
The torpedo also fine. The torpedoes also are bat'leths. Yeah.
Anyway, Nova class battleship. You've been on this thing for a while. I actually kind of like this design.
400 meters long. Yeah, okay, actually, yeah, because it's a long boy rather than a wide boy. That makes sense. Crew 550.
Fuck me. We are an isolationist empire. As such, our planet is so wildly overcrowded, we have to manage our navy with everyone is like stuffed to the brims just so we've got some room. But yeah, no, that's fine. Oh, the CS2 Graceful Flyer.
The side view is not good.
The Adobe Creative Studio 2 Graceful Flyer. Yeah, no, that's square. So that bit at the front is just a rectangle, like
a rectangle jammed on the top. Yes.
Yeah, there's no
It's take that off, or just actually put it into the hull, rather than just weld it on top. It'd be fine.
Yeah, if it was like if it was blended into the hull in any way.
Yeah, even just with like just make some curves to cover it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Like, yeah, just this. These fine. It's the side view. It's the side view.
Yeah,
it's
the side view. Like or just shift it further back on the hull so it's not sticking out the fucking front.
Yeah. There's so many ways. Yeah. How dare you question the engineers of the Great Star Empire?
Oh, what are you going to do? Tell the Space Gestapo on me? Or the other Space Gestapo? Or the other Space Gestapo? This has become a running joke on my streams.
There's too many Space Gestapos.
It's like, do you mean the Obsidian Orders of Tal Shiar or Section 31? Oh yeah, wait a minute. Forgot to check. 164 meters long. Crew 118.
118 very embarrassed Romulans.
The other Space Gestapo, yeah.
There is always more.
Oh yeah, or any of the one-shot Space Gestapo. Like the ones on that planet where Wesley Crusher was almost executed for following.
Or the literal Space Gestapo on that planet that's
the
full of
Nazi
Nazis.
Planet. Yeah.
Or the other literal Space Gestapo from Enterprise where there are alien Nazis.
Oh yeah, the Nicole become Nazis in that one, yeah.
Yeah. Which admittedly was because isn't it like the end of season finale where one of them comes out in a full SS uniform and you're like, you know what, that's actually a wildly strong way to end a season, because if you show me that, I am watching the next episode. I need to know.
Yeah, the sheer like fucking Durasteel gonads on you to put that at the end of a fucking season is a cliffhanger.
I mean, because that's at the end of season 3 of Enterprise, or otherwise known as the only good season of Enterprise.
Did season 4 get bad again? I can't remember.
Well, okay, I'll put it in season.
Okay, season 4 had the finale that kind of sucks.
Yeah, well, I'll put it this way. In my opinion, anyway, season 1 and 2 just kind of suck. They're just bad, especially season 1. It's just they just put foots around, not really doing anything of consequence.
And chat. Let me just try something for a minute. Hey, Wib, tell us about your problems with Captain Archer.
Oh, yeah, I think I mentioned this last time. The problem with Captain Archer is that they made him into a character that is... he is the character who sees space with wonder, and so is driven by... And so he makes mistakes because he is too naive about the realities of the universe. Which there is always a character or many characters that they fill that into in the ensemble Star Trek cast. Like say in TNG, sometimes it'd be LaForge, or sometimes it'd be Wesley. And that's fine. It's fine to have that. But the problem with making Archer be that, he's also supposed to be the captain. So he's supposed to be the person whose competency means he's fit to lead, but it means that narratively, you are repeatedly shown that he is the least fit to lead because he cannot. It is irresponsible to put him in that position. It's weird how they did it, and it would have been fine.
I just do this to Web to incur psychic damage on him.
And like, but yeah, the thing with Enterprise, the first couple of seasons are just bad, just terrible. Season 3 is not necessarily great, but they
Also, the
actually
decontamination chamber.
Oh yeah, but they actually give a story. There's actually a thing they're heading for because basically, space 9/11 happens, and so they
Yeah.
have to. So they go to deal with the issue there, and so there's. I think it's. I remember season 3 as being the one I thought was the most, maybe not the best, but the most interesting because that it had drive. They were going for something. They were doing something.
Are you saying they had faith?
They had faith, and that kind of worked. Season 4 was sort of a soft reboot of the series, so they kind of started doing the same stuff they were doing at the start, but with the competency and confidence they learned through season 3. So it was better than the other ones, but I also I will say that is actually true, Samus. Season 3 does often get into. It's a very post 9/11 story, it gets. If you are to unpick its metaphors, some of them are a bit.
Some of them are a bit Patriot Act.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, it's one of those interesting ones where it starts off quite bad. At least gets a verve, but then gets and then sort of like, I do kind of feel like if Enterprise had been able to go on for a few more seasons and had got like the standard length of a Star Trek show,
I found it interesting. It didn't.
It was because it was bad, and no one liked it. If it had been able to get to like a 7-season run, I feel like the show could have got quite good in the end.
By the way, sorry I'm late, Wib. I was on the holodeck, looking at the first Enterprise, Archer and all those guys.
Oh man, that show it. I will say the last episode of Enterprise, hot piss.
Oh yeah,
terrible.
As much as I like seeing Jonathan Frakes anywhere, hot piss.
The very last bit.
Oh yeah,
the very last bit where we get the Final Frontier speech.
Yep.
From Kirk, Picard, and Archer. I'm like, actually, that is a nice way to end the season. It's a weird thing that the last episode is a terrible way to end a show, but also the very last bit is a great way to end the show. So
yeah. One of the Kelvin movies ended with I think every character doing a bit of the These Are the Voyages speech, and it was the fucking best.
Yeah, I do like that because it feels like it's a deliberate attempt to counteract one of the biggest problems with the TOS era of it being the Kirk, Spock, and McCoy show. And whenever they've done newer iterations of it, when they return to it, it does feel like that's something they try and consciously address, and I do like that.
I should maybe mention, since Kian said it wasn't season 5 meant to be the Earth's Romulan War, maybe, but it would be weird because Starfleet has view screens in Enterprise.
Yeah,
and don't use atomic weapons.
It's
a fairly big point in Balance of Terror. It's weird.
Another one of those things where it's like, my person in my like when you're trying to put these things together. Of course, officially, canonically, the events of TOS happened in the universe of the later stuff that was made. However, never ever try and connect canonically TOS to anything.
No,
does not fit.
That way madness lies.
TOS doesn't even fit neatly in with the TOS movies, let alone anything else.
That is why I don't give a flying fuck about the differences, especially in fucking size, between the Strange New Worlds and TOS Connie. Anyway, the Starglider.
Yes, it's one of them, innit? It's just a little bird of prey.
Pylons.
We're not
to this again.
We're going to get to the hulls of ships being terrified of the warp nacelles. Although,
Yeah.
I wonder if... Let's have a look. I'm just wondering if this has... I'm just really quickly skimming over the notes. Because there is the whole thing that in the TNG era, the designers were like, not only do the nacelles of Romulan ships need to see each other, they need physical space between them because of the singularity that is generated that their warp drives use. Which
also, I just realised how high up over the ship they are.
They are quite high up. Which does kind of make me feel like, I know this is obviously from the perspective of like it would be in like the kind of how flight works, you know, so it doesn't really work like that in space. But like I feel like if they're so high up and there's so little mass to the actual body that it'd just flip in circles when the warp like drive activates.
Yeah, Mutanto, it's because Star Trek isn't 40K. SEO singularities are contained inside the ship. Oh, no. The power system will still be on the inside of the ship. The nacelles are what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Or the engines, as they were originally just called.
And to be fair, Mutanto, there is a fair bit of ramming in Star Trek, but it's realistic ramming, as in you don't do it unless you're fine with dying.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Nemesis,
of the end of Year of
Machine,
Hell, Nemesis.
Year of Hell. First Contact.
Yeah, what? Fucking.
Perhaps today is a good day to die. Okay.
Also, the other thing is you don't want to ram ships because when warp drives go up, they're basically like a nuclear explosion, so you don't really want to be close to that.
Yeah.
So ramming a ship is a bad idea for a lot of reasons.
Damage to a matter-antimatter containment device probably isn't the best idea. Also, let's not even start the nacelles seem like such weak structural points, because God, I hate that argument against design. I don't hate this one.
Yeah, Hunter's alright. I don't know if I buy it as Romulan per se, but like it's just a little shuttle. Like, yeah. I mean, it's a cruiser, but it looks like a shuttle. You know,
one ship that's stuck in warp speed in the episode. Not that I can remember, because the engine would just burn out.
Now I'm just thinking of how they manage the faster than light travel in Babylon 5, where because it's, you know how like nearly all, even though they all feel different, most sci-fi things end up converging on the same idea that the warp, subspace, hyperspace is functionally a different dimension that you're in when you are in it. And all sci-fi things will start off with the basic idea of faster than light travel, and they all converge to the same idea for some reason. Whereas in Babylon 5, because it honestly, it's closer to the warp, the 40k warp, than anything. In that it is.
Is that what Samus means when they say that Babylon 5 travels at the speed of plot?
Yes, but in that there is just a lot of thing of like, oh yeah, people just hang out in that universe until they're needed, which I think is always interesting when they do that.
Mutanto, the ship can power every system. The reason they divert power is to put more power into a system, and it's usually from auxiliaries. So, like, divert power to shields usually just means take it out of the auxiliary power and put it into the shields so they last longer.
It's
You can technically go out on the hull in Babylon 5's hyperspace.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's interesting. Babylon 5's is interesting.
Yeah, that sounds like an interesting idea.
Honestly, Babylon 5's great. Can wholly recommend watching the show. Although it is very weird when one season is obviously two seasons crammed together, and then they suddenly got another season, so they then didn't know what to do with the last season, and so hastily came up with something on the fly. Also, the main character goes from being a hot silver fox to looking like Caleb Malpin, and that bothers me immensely.
Oh, especially now.
Yes.
Bad enough before.
Yeah. Okay, the Wing of Vengeance Class 6 cruiser. I mean, it'd be nice if there was a ship and it wasn't just a pair of wings, but...
If it didn't have the slanted angle on the top... no, maybe it needs that, actually, I don't know.
It feels like... it just needs a little bit more, like, a little bit more bulk in the center. I guess it depends which way we go. Yeah, this is a weird one.
Also, wait a minute. 85 meters long, 195 meters wide, 60 meters tall, crew of 160. That's going to be tight. That is going to be tight.
Oh, I'm not. I wasn't talking about the change in the who was commanding Babylon 5, Agamemnon. I was talking about Sheridan. How he's like, he gets to the end of, I think it's season 4, and he's he's grown a beard out, and he just looks like a badass, and then he dyes his hair and becomes a politician and looks like Caleb Malpin for the last season. That's what I'm talking about.
That'll do it. That'll do it. No.
Yes, when he becomes President Sheridan.
Hey, Jim Sheridan.
And speaking of Sheridans, hello, Sheridan. Hello.
Yeah, Steel Wolf, I agree. The top and side views are what let it. The front view actually does work if you consider the underslung cannons right under the flat piece of the hull to be like talons.
Yeah, I guess this is one where you kind of want another view. You want to be able to see it in 3D space, so you can see, because you're not really getting any other view on these the underslung bits. So,
because if you consider, like, I'm thinking of that coming from a downwards diagonal angle, and it would be like a bird swooping in.
Yeah, like that could be quite good.
But it's a bit, maybe a bit too blocky, but yeah.
Sorry, Snipe just brought me a cookie. So.
Tell Snipe she's in there. That's a tradition.
A giant cookie.
Please tell Type she's in there. Tradition, please.
She's already gone.
God damn it! Again with this shit.
Okay, now we've got a Halo.
No, that... okay, see the side view, if you took the back end is the front?
Yeah.
Would be a ship from Halo, yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean. It's the Covenant little fighters, yeah.
It's almost the Banshee, almost.
I think one of my fondest memories of playing Halo.
Also, what the fuck is up with that side view? The wings look fucked. Huh. Yeah, that's weird. They're so thin there, and like if you see it in the top down, it's like, no, they've got mass to them.
Yeah, that's another one of those. Yeah, they didn't really measure it like properly. But yeah, one of my most fond memories of playing Halo was playing on. I always remember what's the map that's been from the first Halo.
Blood Gulch.
Blood Gulch. And playing it at a LAN cafe, and someone running away into their home base from me chasing them down in a Banshee, and then finding out that you can fit a Banshee down those halls if you're committed enough to it. And the person backing up as this thing is slowly scraping its way down, and they had a way to exit, but obviously they were like deer in the headlights.
Yes.
And then I was just like, and once they were dead, I was like, oh, okay, I guess I just have to get out now.
I've had my fun for the day, bye.
That's the point where I was like, okay, that's enough Halo for me. That's the best thing I'm ever going to do. So now I'm gone.
Okay, 160 meters long, 233 meters wide, and a crew of 270. Honestly, that looks like it should be a small shuttle.
Honestly, most of these just look like they should be small. to me. I think, you know what it is? I think it's because you've got the long wings with the thin nacelles on the end.
Yeah.
That's something we tend to see more in, like, smaller canon Romulan ships. So it skews your sense of, like, thing. Of course I've listened to the Henry Rollins William Shatner song. Of course I've listened to it. It's off his album Has Been, isn't it? I think it's called.
Yes, I think it has been. Yeah.
Which has got and bearing in mind, William Shatner, absolute wanker. But I do legitimately love his cover of Common People. I actually really like it.
He also did a cover of Iron Man with Zakk Wylde on guitar. The only reason I listen to it is because Zach's guitar sounds fucking immense in it.
Oh. We have returned to just a shape.
Just a warbird, but not. A bird of prey, but not.
A bird of prey, but we kept going for a bit.
It's kind of pancake now, isn't it?
Yeah. In fairness,
like pancake.
You know what? It actually kind of reminds me a bit from the side of, you know, the in Star Wars, there's the like luxury yacht ship. It's used a few times in Clone Wars. I can't fucking remember what it's called.
I know what you're talking about. God damn it.
The Lady Luck, I think. Yeah.
No, that's Lando's ship in Legends.
Maybe because someone did have it, a converted one, and used it as their ship at some point in some story. I don't remember where it was.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! You're right, Zeno. That could be one of those pizza cutters. You know, the ones you have handles on both sides.
Oh, those ones, yeah.
Big, like, shaped blade. And you... Yeah, good. Yep. Thank you, Zeno. 300. Okay, fine. That's okay. Okay. We've got something in the next one.
The White Wing class. Yeah,
that's not bad.
I actually kind of dig this. It's got the whole bird-shaped thing, but it's not too on the nose, and the underslung nacelles beneath the wings.
Yeah.
That's not something you see in Star Trek usually.
Yeah.
I actually like that.
Especially from the top view. That looks really good from the top view.
Yeah, I dig that.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
Oh, here we go. The classic.
Hey, there it is. There it is.
It's a fun little design.
You know, it's funny, when I was younger, I'm like, oh, that looks dumb, it's so simple. And now I look at it, it's like, it's so simple, it's great.
Yeah.
You just made a design that doesn't... You didn't put too much into it, it's just enough, and it's great. And then you painted a bird on the bottom, and it looks even better.
It's... Someone was like, they'd done the ship, and they were like, it just doesn't quite look, you know, it's not quite complete. And then someone drove past their house in a really loud fucking Firebird. The fucking thing painted on the bonnet, and they're like, yes, there we go.
I should own a couple of white ones along with a winged defender. Ooh, interesting. Okay, yeah, no, that's... It's the boy.
Yeah,
crew of 150. Wow, all those people died.
Come on, it's not as bad as when you're watching Star Wars and you see a Star Destroyer go up and you go...
It's like 70,000
crew
like... members plus however many tens of thousands of stormtroopers.
One of those things where you go, let me just quickly open up Wikipedia, average crew complement.
Oh god, I've just forgotten his name, but it was there for a minute. Fucking communications disruption only means one thing. It's like, that guy, fucking, the death toll is catastrophic. It's like every time a Star Destroyer goes down, that's all I hear in my head.
or you want to get even worse, you think what the KDR was of that A-Wing pilot in Return of the Jedi.
Death 1 kills. Oh boy.
Like, let me just have a quick look.
I have, David. Wib has not, so say nothing about A Strange New World.
Yeah, I've not got that far yet. Where are we?
Are you looking up the full crew complement?
Yeah, I'm looking at the crew complement.
Okay.
Just tell me. Wikipedia, you have failed me.
Also, the Executor had a crew of like 500,000 odd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really, the Executor kill should be attributed to whoever shot the A-Wing, not the pilot.
Oh no, let's give him that.
That's like a fucking Imperial gunner getting a fucking own goal there. Jesus. Somehow a hat trick of own goals.
Somehow. Yeah, Pike's hair in Strange New Worlds is enough of a mountain that I half expect to, at some point, for it to zoom in real closely and we see William Shatner climbing it.
Captain Kirk is climbing a mountain, but why is he climbing a mountain?
Okay, now we have
the mountain.
the Night Flyer, which looks nearly identical, but is slightly different.
But they angled the wings up more.
Oh yeah, because we had to get the nacelles further away from the body because FASA.
Okay, I do wonder about this, and it's not necessarily a distance from pylons to ship as much as it is. Why the fucking like hard angle there?
I think given that there was already an angle, like I don't think this one's as bad as a lot of the ones, because at least here you've just got a solid body and then the nacelles are already raised above it, so they're already separated, whereas the problem with all the Federation ships was that it was usually like how the saucer section, the secondary hull, and the nacelles all interact with each other, whereas when you've only got two of those things interacting together, there's less room for error. So, you know. Do I remember correctly, there are multiple ships with 4 nacelles, although I don't recall one with 3. Well, there's the Galaxy refit.
Galaxy / Galaxy Dreadnought.
Which I think is the only one we see on screen that's got 3 nacelles.
Yeah, unless the Jaeger has some dodgy shit going on, because it looks like it probably would.
Nah, it's just got 2 nacelles. Whereas if you go into further canon, then there's the refit Connie as well. The Dreadnought one. Yeah, the Dreadnought, yeah.
Is the Dreadnought one not the Federation? Yeah, the Federation class. I think it's actually called, which is basically the same thing, but the pylon for the nacelle is on the saucer section.
But yeah, the Night Flyer is just a riff on the Bird of Prey, so, you know. Let's say, created from plans from the older Bird of Prey, so it's just a better version. Made for a little later. Fair enough. Okay. I do kind of like the redesigned nacelles that they look like
Boxy ones.
Yeah, that it's like to show that they come.
You know?
Yeah, that it comes from the same era as the refit Constitutions ones, but without looking exactly the same. Just like Oh, here we go.
No, the Prometheus has 4 Shanas. No, wait.
Technically, it has 5.
It technically has 6 or 5.
Yeah, it's got 5 because it has 2 on the bottom secondary hull, 2 on the top secondary hull, and 1 poking awkwardly out the top of the saucer section.
It's at the top. I couldn't remember if it was out the bottom and the top, so that was what it was getting.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, it's physically there, like, even when it's in its completed thing, and you can just see into the hole, and it's just there. There's not a door on it, which... It's just a weird bit of design, and I'm like, why isn't there a door? Like, if you had a door, then it wouldn't look awkward, but because there isn't, it's just there. It's weird. But, yeah.
Oh, hey, look, a D7 / a Katanga.
No, it's a V11 Stormbird, I think you'll find.
It's literally a D7 that says it in the thing. Haha!
Because the Romulan Klingon technological exchange treaties. Yeah, this is one of those funny things that sort of like
They never really decided on why the Romulans suddenly had Klingon ships.
Yeah, and they sort of rolled with it in some extended universe stuff, but yeah.
I'm fine with like the Romulans just nicking some for like research, reverse engineering it, and going, you know what, this is a good design. Let's make a ton of them.
Like I read a little bit later on in this when I had a quick flick through.
Spoilers, good.
I just wanted to see how long it was.
I know.
And I saw the bird of prey, and I was like, ooh, hello. And it does kind of go. It does kind of mention, oh yeah, they like after the exchange, the Romulans were like, no, I don't like this. Actually, don't like it when they've got our tech. That feels weird.
Good.
But yeah, it's just D7, isn't it?
Yeah,
I do like the D7. It's a fun,
it's great.
Yeah.
It's weird when they call things a D7 Katanga and Discovery. They don't look like one because I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was weird. Although I think it's in season 2 when they are busy on their apology tour. They straight up show a D7 and go, "This will be our new ship for the fleet."
And it's really weird.
It does look like a D7. It's just it's just been through the modernizing filter, but but it's like, yes, we're going to replace all of these weird ships, and we're never going to talk about them again.
Yup. That's the best part. We will never mention it again.
And here we've got a bird of prey with some junk in the trunk.
The V20 Kachonki, as Steel Wolf calls it. And yes, that is a bird of prey front end.
Admittedly, if I was designing Klingon ships, I would try and put bird of prey front ends on them because I quite like their underbite.
Oh yeah. Okay, I have a complaint. This thing isn't a fucking freighter. It looks like it should be.
Oh, it's just large for reasons.
Because the interior of the ship is compartmented for combat. The vessel survivability. Okay, fine.
A turkey of prey.
Like, I feel like that should be one that lands and then the ramp comes down at the back, like the bird of prey, just bigger, and then you could get tons of fucking cargo on it.
Or alternately, it could be a landing craft for, like, ground troops or something.
Yeah.
Like, you could drop... A thing we don't really see because...
ship, yeah.
Like, we don't really see in Star Trek because it's primarily a TV series and these things are expensive to make. But it would be something that, like, would drop down and say for, like, tanks and things like that.
Oh, I'm also not going to, like, badmouth the Disco Klingon designs. I just don't think they were really Klingonish.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we've got a let's get the nacelles as far away from the body as possible thing.
No. I like everything else you've done except for, well, maybe not from the side view, but bad.
This is weird. It's lines because it's like it starts here and then it goes down over the course of it, whilst it's also doing that at the front, but at a different. Yeah, from a design perspective, that's weird.
And
then you've got this little cockpit poking out the front that's very un-Romulan as well. That looks very, well, Star Wars Headhunter, honestly.
No, that's not one that's going to work.
No.
It's a no from me.
I think when you've got the Romulan ones, there's definitely the bird.
I have the reasoning behind this. The crew capacity is 420. It's the number.
Okay.
This entire ship is a meme by Romulan engineers.
Okay. Although now I'm just thinking, I'm looking at this side view and I'm thinking, so is this bit that juts down, is that just this central bit? Because it looks like...
It's the central bit.
What?
The central bit's segmented, I think. So I don't know.
Okay, no, look, but so we've got big chunks missing out of this here, but that's not present on the front view. Oh, okay, we're doing one of these.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
So that means it's got a really chunky front end that then just has big cutouts at the back. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Oh. A winged defense.
Okay, now I get it. Side view. Look at the side view. It's Laserbeak.
It is Laserbeak, yes. Okay, I'm getting this. Actually, it's interesting that because obviously FASA leaned hard into the Romulan Klingon like tech sharing,
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting into stuff like this that has some big bird of prey energy.
Oh yeah. This honestly, like, I'm sure it probably was refined further than this, but this design, if it was refined a bit more, would be great.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about how high angle the wings are, or the angle might be a bit too steep. Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe it should be like a fucking V. I don't know. There's something a little bit off about it.
I'm also feeling this could also be like a Great Crusade era Imperial ship because of the very heavy bird aesthetic. Like maybe some of the
Yeah,
Custodes
it's
used.
like a fucking Luna class, but they just stapled a bunch of fucking extra bits to make it
Yeah.
look like an eagle.
Hmm.
Oh, the angle of the wings could be is variable. Okay, that helps.
Hmm. It was in
Okay,
Star Trek Armada games. Was this one in the first one?
we'll find
I
out.
don't recognize this design from the first one.
Hmm.
But there was a lot of different
Oh yeah.
Romulan ships in that.
Plus, you were modding the fuck out of it.
Yeah, I kind of forget what was in the
Hmm.
base game.
Okay, chat. You need to help me with this because I'm not good with naval terms, or like nautical terms when it comes to ships. Um,
Oh, it isn't in Armada. It's just similar. Okay, fair
uh, what the fuck is a cutter if we're talking about ships?
because a
Is it
cutter's
just
like a small sailboat.
a,
In, like,
a little quick thing, right?
yeah.
Why can't they just call them shuttles then?
What's the length of it? It's 187 meters. So.
Oh no, not that.
Oh.
That's a cruiser. That's fine. I'm talking about the next one because I was just looking ahead
Oh.
and being a nerd.
That is 47 meters. So yeah. Oh, that. You know what this really reminds me of from the side? It reminds me of one of those trains they built that had jet engines on them.
Yes.
Possibly rails.
Oh, I need to tell you. I need to tell you one day about a weird fucking inventor that used to live up this way.
Okay.
A good while ago, who tried to make a rail system. He had a test bed rail system up here that used propellers for movement.
I think I've seen some stuff of that. Have you ever heard about atmospheric railways?
Vaguely.
They're a lot of fun. There's a very fun episode of Well, There's Your Problem, talking about them. Like how there was a guy who was on one of them who was like probably the first person who survived reaching like 200 miles an hour because it went off when he wasn't expecting it with nothing
yeah,
else.
yeah, with a spinning shaft, I could see the problems. Ooh,
Mm.
yeah, no, that can.
In Coast Guard, cutters are basically anything between a small, close-to-shore patrol boat and might as well be a Navy cruiser ship, apparently.
Andy.
So it's, yeah.
Ah, yeah, I found it. The dude was trying to build a monorail, but with a propeller.
Honestly, that's great. I uncritical support to this guy.
Posted a picture over to you, Wib. Give us a second, because there'll be nerds in my chat that want to see this.
It looks like it's got a stained glass window. That is the coolest thing. We live in the worst future.
The dude was a bit of a fucking eccentric. It was in the 1930s, also.
Yeah, that's fucking great. Why don't we have this? This
Yeah,
should
it
be
was
what
in
we have.
Guy. There we go. George Benny, that's his name. Called it the rail plane.
Yeah, no, it's fucking amazing. I want 12 of them all of the time. Why is that not my local bus route? Like, it's the fucking best.
Because I think the rail plane fell into despair. It got sold for scrap and being the railway actually was still around until 1956 and it was sold for scrap. Bastards.
I hate this future. I hate it. Anyway, yes, this someone said a space horseshoe crab. A bit weird from the side, but I don't mind it. Again, it does the thing where it only has the mono nacelle, but it
Yeah, it works with it better because it looks like it looks like a civilian ship. I would have called that a civilian ship.
and the mono nacelle I think works fine when you're using it in the same way as it's just an engine. like it's not like part. It's like not as an integral to the main design of the ship. It makes it into a more utilitarian thing. I don't know. It's hard to say what the line is, but.
God damn it, Excel.
Oh, the Caladan Class 2 shuttle is...
Ah, no, bad. Go away. Also, what is happening with your back struts? Are they vertical or horizontal?
It's a shuttle that's Naruto running.
Yeah, okay, fine. Wib, we are not living in the worst future. Remember, there's one where Inquisitor was made into a film.
I don't know. You could have done that in a slightly less noisy way while I'm on microphone, but thank you. That was incredibly loud.
I have AirPods
Yeah,
in.
the microphone. Yeah. But thank you.
Well, fuck you then. Open
No, I
your
was
own
saying
chicken things.
I would have, yes.
Okay.
But thank you.
Snipe
is just bringing me snacks.
Good. Web, I've also seen you a picture from Geyser Tans of the Shining Zeppelin from the late 20s and 30s Germany. Late 20s, early 30s Germany.
When you initially said propeller-driven train, that was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. No, apparently the one in Mogai was much fancier looking.
But yeah, this Caladan almost looks like it's a nose section of another spaceship, and it's like ejects. Like
yes, Agamemnon. We did mean Inquisitor by Ian Watson.
Yes.
Who knows, Ian? This could be my next movie. Hugh Kubrick, or whoever it was.
Oh, what's going on here? All of these shuttles connected to cubes. What do we got? They rely on powerful impulse engines. The main maneuver power of these ships transfer from one system to another by a special carrier designed to carry 9 at one time.
Oh, fuck off. It's a Gazanti class, but not as funny.
Yes. And then we've got...
Are you ready to derf it up?
The P-12 is shrugging at me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, it's just like, what are you? And it's like, huh.
It's a Romulan derf.
A little.
It's got the upward nacelles. It's a derf. Fuck you. Also, in the side view, it looks like the nacelles should be folding inward slightly on the pylon.
Yeah, I don't...
Alright, it's hard to tell.
I don't dislike it, but I also don't see it as a Romulan ship. Like, I think that's one that you could definitely work with. Oh, good. The line of service duty, so you can look at this this chart and go cross-eyed.
Yep.
Oh, recognition silhouettes.
I do like that these are in here. It's kind of cute.
Also, it's good to get a bit of a vibe of like size as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Where's the OG Warbird in this list? Ah, there it is. Okay, or not Warbird, Bird of Prey. Okay. Yeah, some of these ones that we said look like shuttles are way bigger.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, I always thought the Bird of Prey was significantly smaller than, like, a D7.
As far as I know, it is. Not according to this. They're the same width, apparently.
Okay. Very normal.
Okay. So, how about the
Death Talon?
Death Talon.
Death Talon.
Death Talon.
Well, I mean, you know, if you want to start with
That's a Tholian ship.
shit, yeah.
That's not Romulan. That's Tholian.
Assigned as groups to various fleets in Romulan Navy, T2s were designed for escort and patrol duties, though they had no room to spare for leisure. Okay. Yeah.
Or Star Fox. From above it looks like a depressed face. Wait, what? Okay, yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one I don't. I have no strong feelings about it one way or the
Nah,
other.
nah, it's fine. I think if you made it more angular in the front view, it would be a totally ship.
You know what's weird? How. I mean, I'm saying this as I'm looking at the Fire Swarm, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But, like, it feels like they had a much better grasp on a design language for the Romulans, despite us only seeing 2 ships of theirs, in one of which they shared with someone else in the original series. So we had very little to go on for what their design aesthetic was, but they seemed to be able to pull off a more succinct, like, demonstration of that design, as opposed to the Federation, where they had lots of ships to base them on, but they were just fucking around and just made them all look bad.
Like, okay, my first thought, if I had to design a Federation ship, or if I was fucking around with, like, parts, just swapping bits out, I'd be like, okay, what does the Constitution refit look like if I put the pylons from the Excelsior on it? And then I'd work from there. I don't know what the people that designed some of the Federation ships we looked at were doing.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Fire Swarm is it looks fine from the side and front, but kind of messy from the top.
The main body of the side view makes it look it's got like a bit of a arse end of a runabout going on.
Yeah, actually, you're right, yeah. Or maybe actually a next gen era, well, one of the next gen era shuttle designs.
Yeah.
Where they've got that, like, sloped back on them. This is another thing that you see a lot.
This is a design made for a game where you're going to be looking down at the pieces. That's fair. But we're still going to critique them because we're having a bit of fun.
And actually, from looking straight down at it, that is also an issue, because they often have this thing from when you're looking straight down at them, having all these cutouts in wings that I don't really know what they're there for. Like, they feel like they're the result of, like, trying to make...
Let's not start with cutouts. The cutouts and the pylons of the Enterprise design from Disco is still a problem. People are not happy that they're cutouts and they're trying to find... I went to just see what E.C. Henry thought about the new Enterprise design, and then he has a 10-minute video trying to work out why those cutouts are there canonically, and I'm like, stop!
He does very good work, but when he talks about things like that, there was a whole video where he was talking about how the TIE fighters from Rebels were not the same as regular TIE fighters because their design looks different, and at no point did he acknowledge that the entire show is stylized, so even Star Destroyers don't look like Star Destroyers.
Shit.
Yeah, they're all a little stylized, like, because it's a cartoon. That's why they look different. Because it's a cartoon, Henry. It's because it's a fucking cartoon.
Love you, mate, but fuck me.
Oh man. Greg does fantastic work, but every now and again he does something like that.
He also designed ships for STO.
That does not surprise me. Yeah, no, I like the.
And he does good work. He's great.
Yeah,
just
does
Jesus,
great work.
Mate, come
just
on.
that one element drives me nuts.
This one doesn't work for me.
I think
it's too junky looking from the top. Like, it's too many bits stapled onto each other.
It feels a little bit too much like, because it's trying to both be a plane and a bird of prey at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would look okay if you added a bit more bulk around the neck to, like, meld these lines together a bit.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. The back end as well, though, just like, nah. Nah, it's not working for me, that one.
Fair enough. It's a bird of plane.
Again,
now,
next one is something that looks like it should be a civilian ship to me.
Yeah. As a random civilian ship, completely fine.
Yeah.
Looks Federation.
Yeah.
And yeah,
it kind of does, actually, yeah. Or like civilian Federation stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you could see Harry Mudd nicking one of those and then the engine's exploding
Yeah.
on it because he's trying to keep away from the Enterprise.
100%.
While also trafficking women. Well, don't think about that episode too hard.
The Mandukum.
Okay, no, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, this is very close to a lot of stuff we've seen later on, so...
Yeah, no, that, I feel like whoever designed that one knows Romulan design
Yeah.
before it became Romulan design.
53 meters, so it's relatively small as well. Like, just a
Who
little...
14? A bit cramped, but okay. Yes, a little bit Andromeda Ascendant as well, actually. We don't talk about that.
But unlike the Andromeda
Also,
Ascendant, it looks good from angles.
That front view kind of reminds me of the Death Gliders from Stargate.
Yeah, I get that, actually, yeah.
Good work. Oh, not so good work in the next one.
The next... ooh. See,
Try to work out what's happening on those pylons.
My God, this from the front angle, it looks like those diagrams where people are like, "Oh, the Nazis were building a UFO."
Oh my God, it does. Oh, it looks like the scaffolds around Diclock.
And we don't talk about the bell.
No.
Hey everyone, the Nazis weren't building these things because they were fucking idiots.
Went through the list of fleet ships we could get in STO. There is a T6 Connie. There is no T6 Connie, but there is a T6 Miranda. I know, because STO fucking hates me.
But apparently is giving me a favour despite the fact I obstinately refuse to play it again.
You do not refuse, you just have other things to do. You're a busy man.
So these little things poking out the back, because obviously it looks like we've got the nacelles, in conventional place.
Those look like rocket engines,
Yeah.
boosters, which is an interesting idea.
It's like, do we have something special about their engines?
Powered by a sublight engine class 8 and it carries no impulse drive system.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so a more, all right.
It's a different propulsion system. Fair enough.
I mean, again, this thing where they have this weird thing of like having the nacelles in places that feel unbalanced to the rest of the ship. You know, the stuff that was all over the Federation ships. It's got that, but yeah, I'm kind of down for the idea of having like a completely different thing.
A different sublight transport system.
It actually reminds me, in the very first issue of the Star Trek comic from the 60s. You see the Enterprise like zooming away from something, and it has flames pouring out the back of the nacelles.
Yeah.
And I've got the Q4 Protector Class 4 monitor. Which is interesting that it got to the Federation like pointy saucer thing long before the Federation.
Crew of 34, so border patrol built up with and great defense vessels suited for prolonged duty vessels near the border. As a border patrol, I would have said that. Okay, that strikes me more as like these like defense ships you'd have for a star system.
Yeah.
That just need to bugger about within system space, you know?
It looks very much like, you know, a ship you'd see randomly in TNG. Like,
oh yeah,
that'd be escorting the Enterprise in, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
I don't hate it. I don't think it looks incredibly Romulan, but I don't hate it. System defense boats, that's what I was thinking of. Thank you.
Oh, I actually kind of like this, like a bit of an update of the Bird of Prey.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I'm totally down with that.
I like that. Well, it's a scout, so you make it look a bit speedier. So they've shaped the front of the hull more into a point.
Yeah, this is the sort of thing where it wouldn't surprise me if you saw a Bird of Prey in, say, Strange New Worlds, and they redesigned it to look something like this. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me either.
A lot of the early Star Trek comics are very strange because they literally did not have photos for some of the actors when they started drawing them.
Yeah.
So they were just given a broad description, so some things ended up very weird.
Boy.
Because there was a Partworks magazine that had the old it had Star Trek comics in it, and I got a couple of the ones that had old comics in them, including one that had like a complete collection of one of the ones that was in a that was like just in a comic book. So it was like 2-page spreads, and it was just all of them compiled together, which is quite fun.
Yeah.
I need to go through those at some point. But yeah, no, I'm totally on board with the free flight.
Yeah, no, that's
I like
great.
that one. The Swift Wing is...
It's a no from me immediately. Oh, do you know what it is? This is Romulus's version of the Phoenix.
See, with the huge top wing on it, it reminds me of some of the planes from Terrorhawks, and I don't like being reminded of Terrorhawks because I like not having nightmares.
I think one of my brothers had this G.I. Joe toy. Honestly, with that big fin thing, yeah. But they already
Holy
had
shit, this is a
Warcraft.
Romulan Chronoplan.
What?
No, look at it. It's an Chronoplan. The huge back wing, like...
Oh shit,
you
you're
know,
right.
somewhat vestigial front wings. This isn't a chronoplan. This is I don't know, what's the Romulan equivalent of the Caspian Sea?
I don't know. Romulus exploded. They don't have one now. Yeah. No. I had to go and look at some pictures quickly, but yeah, I see what you mean.
I fucking love a chronoplans. They're fucking weird. I love them.
Or skimming the space seas.
Yes. Okay, I don't like it, but I do like it because it reminds me of a thing I like, if you know what I mean.
It almost looks... Okay, turn it... Okay, make the back the front, and it looks like a Jem'Hadar ship.
What, the
wind carrier, sorry.
Oh, the wing carrier. Yeah. I see that. Again, and a bit of an update on the thing. I actually don't mind this one at all.
Fun fact, in Battletech, Chronoplans are playable units. Good.
Well, I guess
They should exist in someone's fucking universe.
There was a plan to make an aircraft carrier one.
I know.
Because the thing with the chronoplans, if you don't know, chronoplans were a thing that was developed in the Soviet Union.
The ground effect vehicle.
Yeah, using the ground effect, which is when a plane is traveling close to the ground, it creates a huge buffeted like pocket of air, which allows them to stay flying. Which is why getting planes to land is actually kind of difficult because they don't want to land, and this is more pronounced the bigger something is. So littler chronoplans are not very efficient and have to travel really close to like the ground. So like it's quite difficult to make them travel over the sea because waves get too big. Whereas the big ones could do it because they could travel quite above the waves. And so yeah, there was.
If you've ever played Metal Gear Solid 3, the vehicle Eva and Snake get away in is a wig.
Yes,
It's a ground effect vehicle.
Which is great. Yeah, there was plans to make a giant one that would basically be an aircraft carrier. Basically, it's like, oh, it's a big plane that you fire MiGs out of.
Which is great until things go wrong and the MiG drops out the sky when it gets off the launch pad or some shit.
But of course, they never. That was never even close to me. But it was the guy who. Chronoplans were his baby. That was like his hey Soviet military, if I can make this for you if you keep giving me money to develop this technology. And so it never got further than like an idea. But yeah.
Man, the next one on this list is fucking ugly, dude.
What, the bird of prey?
Wow, thanks for the sandbag.
Oh. I thought we'd moved and I didn't realise.
No.
Okay.
I was just taking the piss out. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
I love
Out
the
of
bird of
everyone,
prey.
really.
You know, I've actually realised something about the bird of prey that's really interesting.
Yes. The fact it was originally meant to be a Romulan ship.
Well, yes, because yeah,
Star Trek 3 had Romulans originally.
this would never work as a Star Trek ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, love the bird of prey. It officially won the democratically selected best Star
Yes.
Trek ships podcast we did, and I'm wholly in favour of that. But what's interesting?
We were okay with that.
I didn't. I don't think we mentioned this in the thing, but I only just realised it. It's one of the very few like mainline Star Trek ships we see that doesn't have nacelles.
Correct.
Its engine's in its butt, like
Yep.
in a more like modern conventional sense. Like obviously because it still
And
has
no
the wings.
one ever complained about it.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just never
Interesting,
really
that.
noticed that until now.
Oh, I have a ship designed to show you.
But no, yeah, I love the bird of prey. Fucking great design.
Well, to show you and probably to show chat also. You like the Excelsior, right?
I like the Excelsior just fine. Yeah.
So you know it was the great experiment, and it was all about fucking trying to get transwarp and all that.
Yeah. When they canonically couldn't decide exactly what transwarp was. Yes.
Yes. There's STO's version of the testbed Excelsior.
Huh. I don't mind it as a ship, although
It's from the disco era.
yeah. Doesn't really. I'm not sure about that. The line going down it where it like goes down at the front. That feels a bit weird because the Excelsior's lines are just flat. Like that's how that ship's design is based all on flat lines.
There you go, chat.
Again, I like those kind of nacelles.
Yeah, I think actually again this is what we're talking about. It works better for a weird testbed ship
Yeah.
post TOS or like during the sort of TOS-ish era than it does for like a pre-TOS ship. Oh yeah, the warp coils and the feathers. I've heard that before, and I'm still not sure if it's true or not. That feels like it was in one technical manual, and they didn't talk about it. Otherwise, I don't know.
Oh, by the way, thank you. Grox gave a bit like 24 minutes ago, and I did not hear that notification pop
Wait,
off.
what?
Apparently.
I didn't even see a bits notification.
Yeah,
Did Grok say anything?
Yeah, whatever we were looking at the time looks like Luke's land speeder.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Well, yeah, sorry, I did not hear that pop off. Okay, now we've got the Graffler,
That's a name.
which is
You're
again,
a right fucking Graffler, you are.
yeah.
That kind of feels like a
Graffler.
pejorative. Never mind. Graffler Zorn. Good. Thank you, Orkin.
Again, riffing on the bird of prey, but I think this one veers just a little bit too far off the course and doesn't really work. Like fine, but just a little bit too high, a little bit too wide. Just
Wait, I don't believe I'm saying this again, but the way the wings look from the top view do not match up to the front view.
no.
That looks weird.
Then we've got Vespin.
Bespin, good.
I am presuming from the nacelles that this is the front, and I will say 100% that this is a ship that going forward looks terrible, but if it was going backwards, I'd quite like it.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah, it's a fat ass seagull.
Yeah, that's definitely a flip it round. It's weird sometimes.
Like flip the nacelles 180 degrees and send it in the other direction.
Yeah,
like yeah.
Like the starship captains are always driving it backwards because they're a little embarrassed by how it looks from the front. And they're like, "Oh, don't worry, the humans won't know. They don't know which way round it's supposed to be."
Yeah. Hey, Matt. Just while I have you here, I just had a thought because I had this discussion with my chat the other day because we were talking about people being really weird about Star Trek ship designs, and weird in the sense that like we're sort of ribbing these, but we don't hate them. Others in the Wellington and the Royal Sovereign, but they deserved it. How do you feel about bridge having windows on the bridge rather than a view screen or a blank wall?
I find it viscerally perplexing that anyone can have a strong opinion on it. It's a,
So I just saw what Larkin said as well. Commander, why is your ship beeping when it goes what you claim is forward?
it's the ship's war horn. Good work, folks. Good work.
Good work, everyone.
Yeah, no, I have no strong feeling. I'm like, well, you know, like it makes sense for there's lots of things you can do with a window that are more difficult with a view screen, and since they are a combined view screen window, like, yeah, sure, fine. It's useful for narrative things.
Also, Samus, I get that, however, but I like the whole thing of the windows basically being AR displays. Exactly, working. And yeah, you can polarize the window.
Yeah, I would assume they're just a built-in thing. Like, effectively, they're like the glasses that you have that tint when you go outside.
Like polarized,
but very very high tech version. There's like a limit to how much light can come through them.
Yeah. Also, fun fact for anyone who enjoys Star Trek 4: Save the Whales.
And if you don't, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, the windows on stuff like Disco and the Enterprise are made from transparent aluminum.
There we go.
Yay, my boy Scotty. And I said it the American way so everyone understood.
Thoughts on hologram displays like those on Picard? I'm fine with them. They're in a million sci-fis.
On the bridge? Yeah, sure, why not? Makes sense.
Yeah. It's set further in the future than the regular stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's another one of those things where it's like it's been used in so many bits of sci-fi at this point that I don't even really acknowledge it because it's just a bit of sci-fi like design these days.
Also, one of the points on the bridge window thing, with it also being an AR display, that you could also just show a different view of your ship with anyway because AR display, but sensors can be tricked. But your peepers might be able to see something.
There's a whole thing in, I think it's Mass Effect 2, of they're like, oh, we're disguised as I think it's a Geth ship, and they're like, yeah, but what if they look out the window? And they're like, well, they're Geth, why would they have a window? Although I'm looking at this J3 Starlifter, and I am trying to process the shapes that I am looking at. This is like a magic eye painting.
I thought it was like a mobile repair dock, actually, not a freighter. It's designed to tow cargo.
Like I can see from the top and front views how it or I can get a grasp of its shape, but then I look at the side view, and I guess it's because the wings with the wing design point straight down, and usually we see those on something that's flared out. So in my head, that means they're flared out.
Yeah.
So
that side view can't be of the same ship. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, because so this little chunk here, that's these nacelles that are. This is Durft. So it's got cross-eyed nacelles.
Yeah, it's the nacelles are up at the top, which is what you're. Yes, it's what you highlight saying to go on.
And then this chunk here, this chunk is this chunk. So this bit here is behind this chunk, and then you've got these pylons here that is this wing, and then so that means this is the front. Oh wait, no, which is the actually no, I actually don't know.
The one on the right hand side is the front.
Okay.
Where it has googly eyes.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, is it this end or this end that's the front? Because normally it's this end on these designs. So that means this is the.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
This is the back. Okay. So this is the back. Okay.
Oh, okay. No, let's just leave this place.
Okay. That took far too much. Like.
Leave this place.
Yeah.
Oh God, it gets worse.
Oh.
Another one.
Okay, we have encountered the just a shape era.
Well, they are transports and freighters, and like I guess if they just clamp onto something, yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like this is something where you need to show a picture of them with a container if that's
With
what
cargo?
you're doing,
Yeah.
because you don't really get a clear idea of what they
Yeah.
really look like.
God damn it! There's another one after this. God damn it!
Okay, okay. Again, it takes you a second of looking at them to figure out
Yeah.
what's going on.
That's just an iron with some shapes cut out of it.
I like these
The
little.
nacelles to handle.
I like the little gaps between these little like pokey out bits and the strut with the nacelle, which is very much what I'm not touching you. Why are you getting weird about it?
Hi, today I bought my first Imperial Knight, aka my son. Good.
Good, good, good. Imperial Knights are great. I wish I had the patience to paint one because I do have one. Well, I did have one, but it's snipes now. I basically passed off the the commitment.
Sorry. One moment. A couple of things. First of all, Lorcan says the front view on that looks like a warp-capable Roomba. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Secondly, we have Pudlord. We're in FASA waters. Anything goes, baby. Tribbles in command. Timid Tellarites. Tholian swimsuit models.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. Okay, so just a little warp shuttle, and yeah, I'm okay with that.
Ideal.
It's fine.
Perfect. Love it. Good.
Yep. No.
Grand. Is the snipe okay?
Sniper, you okay? Are you okay?
A bit of my makeup blush plastic snapped, and I didn't know where it went, and I saw it on the floor, so I had to pick it up, and I didn't realise it was sharp as fucking anything.
Oh,
and
it's
a bit of it broke off in my finger.
Oh, darn.
It's gone, I think.
Oh, darn. Well, my
Talk to you later on, Sam.
sympathies. Anyway. Okay, what do we have now? Oh, another kind of warp shuttle. Interesting, we've got the landing gear. We don't normally get that on these pictures. Again, I'm fine with it. Actually, even though the nacelles are in a slightly weird stance.
It's a little dorky, but I like it.
But like, I could totally see that in the TOS universe. Like,
Yes.
they did have things that had that slightly dorky stance. So like,
Yeah.
So I'm all right with that one. Yeah. Okay, it's a repair tender, so it's a bit more utilitarian. So it's slightly goofy stance.
I wouldn't have put the nacelle on the bottom. I would have just put a nacelle on each side and called it a day.
And if it's a repair tender, I don't know if it even bothered with a warp nacelle anyway.
It's got a nacelle.
I mean,
So-
yes, it's got one, but I'll
Oh,
say like,
sorry, I misconstrued what you said there.
yeah, I
All
just
right, though.
yeah, as a more thing. Again, it's got the weird cutout thing there that they do so much on the.
Oh,
FASA
I just
designs.
realised why we're hitting this point of no return. It's because we're almost finished.
We're nearly done with the Romulans, and then we'll do the Gorn afterwards, which will be a short one.
Oh, yeah, that's like 15 pages.
A repair facility? Well, it looks like the modern Romulan symbol, so that's fine.
That's fun. I didn't think of that. Good job.
Which actually, that symbol didn't exist when this was made.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the one before that. Repair facility does look like it as well. Yes.
The border defense post. It looks
It's
like
also kind of Romulan-y.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I do. Okay, chat. I don't want to dash your hopes, but the Gorn stuff I believe is fan made or fan collated at least. So don't get your don't dream too hard. Okay.
Okay, and then it ends with a bunch of counters for you to like
Which is fun.
photocopy and cut out,
Yes.
which is cool. And then we get the rest of that cutout that was on the front.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, it had some rough ones, but it never got quite into the depths of the Federation ones we look at. So
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go have a cigarette. Wib, you should just open up the Gorn manual and then just show the image on the front and let the dread seep in.
Way ahead of you, my friend.
Good. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, the interesting thing is because because we don't really see much of the Gorn. My only like knowledge of what their ships look like comes from some that I downloaded for Star Trek Armada many years ago, and I think they came from was it Bridge Commander or something? This one does look like a shuttle, yes, but given the size of the windows, it seems significantly larger than one. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see how they do because this is one where they've effectively got free reign to invent a design language. So I'm intrigued to see what they come up with. And if this is, I mean, granted, I don't know how much of this is based on official things and how much of this is fan made. Because obviously, I believe this is a fan made, put together thing. But I don't know if the information came from thing. It gets a bit weird when you're dealing with things like this. Looks like an upside down skip with thrusters. I mean, yeah, but sometimes a skip with thrusters is ends up being a Millennium Falcon, and we all love it. So I will say, part of me is kind of tempted to try and find some models of Star Trek ships to do some painting on. I think that could be quite fun. Not like a big one because I don't have the room for like the big ones. Found an old FASA catalogue from just before they lost the Trek license. There's no Gorn book listed there. So yeah, this one will be entirely fan-made then. That makes sense. But we shall see once. Because yeah, there's the Tactical Combat Simulator. What is that? A Starship Tactical Combat Simulator Design Consortium, which I presume is an online group of people. The CGI Gorn was in the Mirror Universe Enterprise episode. That is true. That is true. I'd like to say it has been stated that I am like 3 episodes through Strange New Worlds, so I would appreciate people not telling me about it. There's a fan-made client to play FASA ship combat. Interesting. That's so many like these old systems because people they play them, they like them, and then support goes away because they lose the license because these things are at the whims of the copyright system. You end up with all these like abandoned systems, and then fans online keep them alive, and they end up mutating and becoming and effectively new editions of the game after the game has long since died, and I find that both very cool and very interesting. It's fun. It's fun. Apparently, FASA lost the Star Trek license over the liberties they took with their TNG source books. That would not surprise me at all. Is then Strange New World sort of a TOS reboot? No, it's a prequel to TOS because it's about Captain Pike, who was the dude from the pilot of TOS. So he was the captain before Kirk. But then it's talking about reboots and Star Trek is a sort of hazy question because Star Trek. I've talked about this before. How Star Trek has a canon that feels like a consistent continuity, but the harder you look, you realize actually it's a fucking mess. and it just does a very good impression of having a consistent continuity. Again, all I know about Star Trek is Magics and Megas 2. The important thing to remember when you're talking about Star Trek is that in terms of continuity, it's very, very simple. Everything that occurs on screen is mainline continuity. The only exceptions being the movies that were made recently, the Kelvinverse ones with Chris Pine as Kirk, which occur in their own continuity, although it is still connected to mainline continuity for reasons. And anything that happens and then when you get into novels and things, that's a whole spider web of other continuities. But when it comes to stuff on screen, it's all part of the same continuity. And even stuff that spins off into its own timeline, like the Kelvinverse stuff, is still connected to the main timeline. Officially, anyway. If you actually look at it, lots of it doesn't feel like it belongs in the same timeline, but it is. It is. The animated series that was made in the, was it early 70s or late 60s that was actually put together? I always forget. But that's an interesting one because officially that has been both canon and non-canon back and forth. So it's kind of up to you. Basically, it wasn't really at times it has been stated to not be canon, but then episodes of Star Trek keep saying events from it did happen. So yeah, it's easier to just treat it as canon, honestly, for whatever the value of treating anything as canon. Yeah, that's what I mean. Soup is, yeah, Star Trek keeps canonizing it. I believe the official canonization of stuff from the animated series started as soon as the Next Generation. You get a lot of stuff in like DS9 canonizes just little bits here and there. Even Discovery has canonized bits of the animated series.
Sorry I'm late. I was watching a fox that was sitting watching me.
Oh, cool.
It just saw me, and then I went, like, made clicky sounds, and then it just sat down and stared at me, and I was like, this is adorable. God damn it. I need to get back to the stream. Fuck.
It's fine. It's fine. Looking at a cute animal is a perfectly acceptable reason to be.
I have a feeling that the house opposite us in the weird little like square of houses we live in is feeding them, and that's why it's hanging about.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is fair.
Yeah, I like foxes.
Yeah, same.
Just saying the interesting canonical state of the animated series. That it was like, no, this isn't canon, but because all Star Trek writers are fucking nerds.
Everyone, Gene Roddenberry said that Wrath of Khan isn't canon, and neither Star Trek 5.
Yeah,
because he hates everything post TMP.
If I remember rightly, he's also said that specific episodes of TNG aren't canon as well.
Yeah. Anyone that he didn't have control on, probably.
Basically.
Also, there was a huge thing with, obviously, Wrath of Khan. Spock dies. Spoilers. And they, like, wants to lock down the scripts, and, like, they put special markers on them and, like, did, like, typos so they know who had which script and which one leaked. So, one script did leak. Guess who leaked it?
Yeah, there we go.
Good old Gene. Fucking Roddenberry himself leaked the script. Because he didn't like it.
Oh, Lorcan, here you go. Here is an interesting thing when you get into it. Like, Roddenberry declared them to be non-canon at a point that he had no control. But given that it's his setting, and then you get into a thing of like, well, who really states what is canon?
Yeah.
And you then get into quandaries of like, when you have multiple contradictory things, what even is canon? who controls it, why do they control it, and
you're
why do we
also-
accept their authority over it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
which is not to say you're wrong at all, but just to say it's a subject that's very interesting.
If you yourself believe the Yuuzhan War in Star Wars is canon, I mean, you're wrong, but also
Yeah.
fair enough. That's your choice.
Like, canon is, it's what you make it, and I think that's... It's a very interesting question as to how these things all work. Because...
You can also get into fun arguments just due to the amount of timey-wimey bullshit that happens in Star Trek. Like, hey, did yesterday's Enterprise actually happen?
Yeah. There's loads of stuff like... When you're getting into time travel stuff, like, you go... When stuff happens, you go, did that really happen? You know? Did it get retconned straight away? Or, like... Because there's been so many events of time travel and stuff, you can easily say, oh, yeah, so everything is canon except for, let's just hypothetically pull an episode out of nowhere, a Threshold. Like, you can just say that because of all the time travel, everything happens the same, except Threshold didn't happen. And
this is just your headcanon now.
But you could easily say things like that because of so much time travel that even though the broad strokes still happen and everything and the timeline is restored by whatever they're doing, something could be removed.
Threshold is the one where Janeway and Tom Paris become salamanders and bone.
Yep. And Tom Paris rips out his own tongue.
Honestly, the special effects for his transformation are great.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Because his fucking teeth fall out and shit as well, don't they?
Yes. This is fucking messed up. It's a weird episode. You see, I don't think...
won an Emmy for makeup. Good. I'm glad
Yeah,
that
good.
I actually won an Emmy for that.
I don't think it was ever really non-canonized. I think the writers were just never bothered to remember what happened earlier on in Voyager.
Because they don't go past Warp 10 in a show that the writing was kind of weird on.
Yeah, that also actually also brings up another point about the oddities of canon.
Don't start with warp factors, please.
I'm not even going to talk about that. But like when something is straight up a mistake, like it is just a mistake because say you're in something like Voyager where they don't give a shit about give a shit is the wrong word. They were in a point where they sort of didn't know what to do with the show, and so it's obvious there was a degree of not really caring that much.
Yeah.
Because they didn't really know where they were going with it, so it's sort of meandering. And so it ends up with lots of weird little continuity guffs and things that will happen all over the show. Like, are those actual hard canon, or are you supposed to interpret those as canon, or are you supposed to interpret those as a production mistake?
Yeah. This is where the E.C. Henry paradox comes back up, actually.
Yeah, like...
It's like, it could just be the effects team made a mistake.
Yeah, that you are supposed to ignore it. It's not real. Much like how we all just accepted many years ago that the fact that they use use parsecs as a time in New Hope is like just a mistake. Everyone accepted that, but then they have to like come up with the EU, and then Solo has to come up with reasons as to why it's not.
Honestly, the Solo version's pretty good.
I don't mind Solo. It's fine. Apart from
it's a fun adventure movie. Yeah.
Apart from
also that big space monster in Solo fucking gets it. And it's amazing.
Oh, the droid rights stuff is a bit like.
Oh god, yeah, that feels like it came from another script and they just forgot to take it out. Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe like it has moments that I kind of like the. Oh hey, you're free. Yeah, you're liberated. Go do the thing.
Yeah, or like the suggestion that L3 and Lando have a relationship is kind of interesting, but they're too cowardly to follow that path.
Yeah, there's so many. It is so close to maybe not being a good movie, but it has so many parts where it gets dangerously close to being interesting, and then just doesn't.
Should we get on with it?
Yes, we should get on with this.
Sorry, everyone. You've been staring at a Gorn brick, which honestly, I'm part of me is hoping most Gorn ships look like bricks, because that just makes sense in my head.
Okay. Users of this manual are required to submit changes in the information in this publication.
Go
to
fuck
the
yourself.
Starfleet Tactical. I guess that's Starfleet. I don't know. SF OPS. Okay.
Starfleet operations.
Possibly, yeah. Okay.
Starfleet intelligence. I don't fucking care.
This doesn't matter. Since fateful encounter with the United Federation of Planets in 2267, the Gorn Alliance and its power. I thought they were a confederacy. Am I misremembering that?
1 minute. Memory Alpha. I think they're Confederacy. Sounds right in my head, but I'm trying to remember if that's like, I don't know, Star Trek Online or something. No, Gorn Hegemony does come up.
The hegemony. Okay, yeah. When I'm thinking
yeah,
of Confederacy, isn't that the Breen Confederacy?
Yes.
There we go. But I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't Alliance.
The Gorn Hegemony was the governmental body of the Gorn. Reptilian species first encountered. Yeah.
Yeah.
5 systems. Well, the 5 systems were part of their domain, whatever the 5 systems are.
Okay, so basically, yeah, here we go. Okay, so the
Also,
BH2 class.
There's a thing called a Gorn Hunter. Oh, sorry, it's a Gorn Hunter. Okay.
Okay, so we've got the BH2 class 13/14 battleship.
The big brick.
I mean, it looks like something that should possibly. I was going to say it looks a bit Blake 7-y, but this has got too many parts to be a Blake 7 ship.
Like, this is. Yeah, she did, Palm to Terror. Hello. I honestly see if all Gorn ships are like complete fucking function over form. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's an aesthetic we don't see in Star Trek usually.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Oh, this is too much text. We're just looking at the pictures.
Yep.
Well, the class X,
Sisek.
well, clearly class 10 battle cruiser. Well, since I'm not really sure what I'm looking at,
Okay, I think I can help you.
like I presume this is the front here, and this is wings coming out, and
Yep. And either nacelles or missile pods on the far end of the wings, and then it's got some fins on the back that look like they sort of start like in the saucer.
yeah. I'm not. I think it's
I think I prefer to see it as a 3D model.
Yeah, I'd like to see that how it's supposed, the full thing, because obviously that's just taken from a small picture, presumably in like one of the manuals or something.
Tell you what, search.
But it's by Dale
Oh,
L.
oh,
Kemper.
this doesn't help. There is a Sech class battle cruiser that's the Klingons.
Got the MD8 class 9/10 cruiser, or 9-10, I guess. Which kind of looks like a big Federation shuttlecraft. I'm
Yeah,
trying
no one. I keep finding the fucking Klingon ship called the Sech instead. Because, fuck me, I guess. Yeah, no, can't see much. Okay. Okay. The MD8. Yeah, that's fine. Kind of Tholian-y, but yeah, no, I dig it. Again, we're keeping with simple shit.
Then we've got a slightly less elegant brick in the
And
MA12.
Yes, but honestly, these look like they could turn up in the background of TNG.
Yeah. This one does feel like it needs a bit more. It needs a bit more to it.
Yeah, it needs more mass. It is a light cruiser, but I feel like it needs something to make it wider to give it more of a Gorny strength kind of look.
I think one of the problems that you have, and this is a problem. This is one of those problems that people have to solve with sci-fi ships, is that obviously it's very rare you'll see a person next to the spaceship unless it's a landing craft of some kind. So defining scale on these things, because you can sit there and go, oh, it's 179 meters long, okay, but like that's quite hard to quantify unless you've got things like windows and things.
Could you just draw a little man there?
Just draw a little Gorn.
Yeah. Look at they appeared in TNG, and they're the same model with bits added or removed or turned upside down or backwards to make them look different each time.
Very
exactly.
much so, yeah.
Exactly.
It'll be like the thing that they that was sometimes a marquee like
Raider.
ship, sometimes was a small fighter, and was also multiple ships that showed up in the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah. Yeah.
That were different sizes depending on how much electronics they wanted to jam in there. Salamander.
Surely Star Trek should show whales next to all the ships. That only happened once, Seamus.
And even then, that makes things more complicated, because
what if it's an alien whale?
Because the size of the whales and the bird of prey is a whole conversation.
You're not wrong.
And also, how big is a bird of prey is a separate conversation.
That's why they started doing like, oh yeah, there's the Burrell bird of prey, and there's the Cavort bird of prey, which I think is the bigger one. The salamander's fine. The next one, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. There's...
I think we're going to hit a problem here where everything's just going to like, it's fine because it's, solid. No real issues. They just are pretty basic.
Yeah, like SS3 class 6-7 destroyer. Again, fine.
Yep.
It's very obvious that a lot of these are coming from like different people that are kind of trying to match a very similar kind of aesthetic, but it's like coming from different angles because they like
I kind of like because it's different designers. Like you'd have different designers making ships. Fine.
But it means they don't really have the unified aesthetic that we see in other factions.
Yeah, true.
As much. But I mean, saying that, it's not like, we don't have multiple aesthetics throughout the Federation, so whatever. But it's fine.
Okay, what before you see the next one, I'd like you to picture in your head an 8080, but it's a tripod and also super deformed Japanese chibi style.
Okay, I've got an image in my head.
Okay.
It was not that.
Okay.
But
because the front end of that, if you made a three-legged 8080 and then made it chibi, yeah.
But I get where you're coming. I get where you're coming from. Mine made the head a lot bigger in my.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But again, that looks like it could be a generic ship from any given sci-fi from...
Yeah,
like,
they just slapped in a cell on the bottom of it, and it's like, fine.
And like, it's, again, actually, it reminds me a little bit of like, what was it? Was it the Scorpio? The ship that they had in Blake 7 after the Liberator was destroyed?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't necessarily look like it, but of that ilk, of just big, vaguely wedge-shaped thing.
So I just read what Module said. Chibi Pixar wife butted, which is a very specific thing.
Honey, did you eat some paint?
No.
You definitely ate some paint, didn't you?
I opened it like that and I was like, oh. My brain went, oh, I'll just wet that with my thumb and then I'll wipe it off, and I didn't realise it was just a glob of wet paint. Very earthy.
Yeah.
It's a classic kind of flavour.
Yeah.
Don't make it like these.
That paint is over 30 years old, so that was vintage flavour you got there.
I don't like it.
Are you going to be okay if I leave you alone? You seem to be having a time.
Yes.
Just try not to eat all the paint. I do need some of it later.
Wait, I think I might snack on a bit of blue. We have excess of blues.
Oh, you can snack on some of the McCrag blue. We got loads of that.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah, there you go.
thank
There you go.
And it's more modern, so it's like healthier.
Yeah, because that's probably gone off a
Gluten-free.
bit. You know.
What the You two are nerds, I love it. No worries, Keen. Catch you later.
Yeah, see ya. We've got a recon scout, which is pretty much it's just the same thing.
It's the same, but slightly different. Yes, no, Modhill, I know about Pixar's habit of giving their mother/wife coded characters massive dump truck asses. I was going to get to that, but then Snipe had the paint issue.
You know, that might be a good idea, Shanus.
Yeah.
I need to do more with the. I keep forgetting that Snipe changed it so that our points thing are known as woblets.
Yeah, but she never put a picture of your face on it.
We need to. I need to make the stream good at some point. You know.
Same. Oh, I think we're running out of material on this one, Wib.
Yeah. The class 7 monitor, Vovosa.
Meh.
It's fine. It's a shuttle.
Here's your next problem. From the
Ooh.
Vovosa, did you get to the Googly?
Googly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more fun, but
It's more fun, but it's not good either.
closest I have is my emotional support gunk. I wonder where you got that emote from, Magos. Yeah, that's the last one.
You know what this actually kind of reminds me of? Like, with the nacelles coming down like this, it reminds me of the concept Voyager that had the big, chunky saucer section, and then, like, but it kind of went down at the back and had, and had like, kind of downward-facing nacelles, kind of similar to this.
Oh, see you later on, Sheridan. Have a good one.
But yeah, that was it. That was it. The Gorn one is just a little. We should just say the Gorn hegemony on the back, by the way.
Oh, it does. Interesting. The good news, chat, is we saved the best for last.
Okay. Now, this was done in 2005. This one.
Oh, there you go.
We now have the Klingon ship recognition manual, and I kind of love the old Klingon symbol that was the four-colored one.
Yeah. I'm sad they didn't keep that.
I get it.
I just realised as well, there's not I was kind of just want to double check our resource. There isn't anything that's like, oh yeah, here's a bunch of like a miscellaneous, ship book that's got like, I don't know, Borg spheres in it or something.
Strange.
That's a shame.
I guess ships from the planet Kling.
Oh, yeah. You mean Kronos or Konos, depending on how you want to say it.
Well, this cover art was done in 1985. We know that much.
Yeah.
By Dana Knutson.
It's pretty rad. Is that Knutson or Knutson? I wonder. Anyway.
Probably Knutson. But this is similar to the Federation one we looked at the other day, where it's got a lot of like official stuff, and then Brad Boimler takes over.
This is the revised version, so yeah, I'm going to guess it's going to have some stuff in it. That's wonky D7. Oh boy. Brad is there. Good. Yep. Sorry, I got stuck in that picture of the D7. It's a bit wonky.
Yeah, it's kind of like. Yeah, there's some angles going off. Admittedly, the D7 is made of a bunch of complicated angles to try and like.
Oh, for sure. Hey, Wib.
Yes.
You know when you scroll down another page and it shows you the front and back of the book?
Yep.
Look at the back cover and tell me what the fuck is happening.
Well, we can see it full if we go to the very end of the PDF. And it's yeah, I don't really know.
Because I thought that was a D7, but it's clearly not.
Yeah, no, it's a D7 with some very pointy ass cheeks.
Yeah.
Some.
Okay, I think if we get to page 10, you will get to your first ship.
Okay. So we start off with the Mover class assault ship, which is
long.
This feels like the FASA territory we were in on Thursday.
Yup. Mr. Boimler does actually say the first of many bogus ship designs postulated by the gang at FASA back in the mid-1980s. The biggest crime committed by the Trek franchise has been to disown a great portion of the written material produced for the Trek. Oh, shut up. Fuck you.
If it ain't on screen, it don't mean a thing. It's a motto of the day with Star Trek. And the T3 is another hapless victim of that. Yeah, but that's because it looks bad.
Yeah.
like, I think I may prefer literally every on-screen Klingon ship we've ever seen, with the exception of the Discovery ones. So.
It says on the last page, the last sentence, what your ship. What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay, we've got a good start.
Okay.
250 meters long. 62 crews, 800 troops.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. Piece of shit.
Yeah. And then we get, the first bird of prey, which is the smaller one.
The
It's the
Burrell.
scout one.
Yeah, no, we all know the Burrell.
Yep.
Although I do wonder how much it says the crew complement is for it. 12. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say, 'cause in my head I was thinking it's like around 16 or something was what I was trying to remember. Like the small one.
Even with if it was a Cavort class, like the bigger one, obviously that was a hindsight. We'll just make up a name for it because it's bigger, and then it clears up any problems because people moan like nerds. I do wonder if that's the Cavort has a bigger crew, like, I don't know, 30 rather than 12, but not much more than that. Yep. Oh, it's the boy. The boy is next.
Good old D7. Various names.
Is this when they couldn't decide if the D7 was the Katanga class or not?
I really like the more fancy model of it.
Oh, the one they made for the motion picture?
Yeah. It's a lovely
because
model.
the stand, like the old TOS model just wouldn't look right in a movie. It had nothing on it, so they did all the fucking hull bits and shit.
Bits for no reason, but I do think the Burrell is kind of like a Viking longship in function as well as a fighter.
I think that's every Klingon ship, but you're not wrong.
Yeah. I love the Klingon ship aesthetic. My childhood created my own Klingon ship designs out of Legos. I did that kind of thing a lot.
Yeah.
Had kind of alternate time where the Klingons conquered the Federation, so they were high tech. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, no, I like the D7.
Yeah.
Just a solid old ship design.
Look. Also, the neck is not as long as you might think, but also it's weird.
Yeah, I think it's because sometimes it's something that you can easily play with force perspective.
Yeah. Also, all I can hear right now is like the TMP fucking Klingon theme. Fucking Jenny Goldsmith, everyone.
I was talking earlier today about how TMP is one of the very few movies that I explicitly bought on Blu-ray.
Hey Wib.
So that I could look at how pretty it was.
Hey Wib.
Yeah.
Do you know, in the next few months, there is the director's edit version with a load of the scenes put back in for special effects, like actually seeing the V'ger ship, cleaned up a bunch of stuff, and in 4K from the original negative.
Oh, why'd you have to tell me that?
It's on fucking Paramount Plus in America now.
Fucking A. Okay.
By the VPN, it didn't work.
The TMP novel is weird. It contains way too much information about the state of Kirk's genitals. Finally!
Yes, it does. That's because Gene Roddenberry wrote it and he decided that during the scene where, when they circle around the Enterprise and it's all the spaceship porn, Kirk is literally getting hard.
I mean, I've never felt closer to Kirk. Fucking. You see, I would have expected to have read that in those.
He also had a love. How do they put it? Love instructor. So basically, a sex teacher in that novel.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Roddenberry needs to shut the fuck up sometimes. Yes, thank you, Agamemnon. Yeah, fucking forgot. In, in the Gene Roddenberry TMP novel, Decker fucks the Iolea probe back into consciousness.
Damn, that did good.
Or like, and like self-awareness. Like, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. You see, I would have expected all talk of Kirk's genitals to have appeared in those novels that William Shatner wrote.
Where he kills the Borg.
Yeah, which I've read one of.
Yeah, it's the return. I think there's 3 books. It starts with the return.
Yeah.
Just a Borg Romulan coalition bring back Captain Kirk.
And
To kill Picard.
And he's
He's so cool.
He's super.
Yeah.
He's super in shape and cool. And you go, this is written by William Shatner. It's
or
also
ghostwritten by someone.
Yeah.
For William Shatner.
Well, yeah. It's the first time I encountered the concept of V'Ger having encountered an earlier iteration of the Borg.
It's Gene Roddenberry's fault.
Because it's been.
He said, well, it could be that the machine race that upgraded V'Ger was actually the Borg, because Spock did say it was a machine world.
Yeah.
But that would also be fucking weird, because the Borg would have just assimilated it.
If I remember correctly, in the version of the novel, it's not the Borg as we know them. It's like an earlier evolutionary offshoot of them that has presumably been since assimilated into the main Borg collective or something. So it is stated to not be the Borg as we think the Borg.
There's also beta canon that V'Ger actually created the Borg. So fuck it.
Yeah, I know they've returned to that idea a couple of times.
TMP, he was basically fired as writer, and Ron Livingston, Robert Wise, Shatner, and Nimoy pieced together the last half hour or so.
Yeah.
Because Roddenberry wouldn't shut the fuck up, and that's why he wasn't involved in any other movies.
Anyway, yeah, D7's good.
Sorry. I just saw what Titan said. Oh! You can read that one out, because that already talks about...
In one of the original Aliens tie-in novels, there's an entire chapter is just the main guy kneeling down and pretending to be fascinated by a xenomorph egg to hide the fact he's got a massive erection. Well, I mean, they are all based on H.R. Giger's work, so they do all look like genitals.
Yeah, it does kind of make sense. Although, that sounds like it should be more of a fear boner response, but here we are.
I mean, I look. No, at no point in that description are we given given information as to how the erection occurred.
What the emotional
fear erection?
What the emotional state of the erection is.
Yeah.
I wish Snipe was here to hear me say that, because he would have died.
Anyway, we're now looking at the D32 Stronger Bird, which has real cooler Daniel energy.
It's the big Spock.
It's the big...
Oh, fuck, I'm dying.
The Cavort is the big Spock of
Birds of
Prey. There is a third one as well from the FASA stuff that's even bigger. Oh, it's the bigger Luke of Trek. Or is it the Luke?
Luke.
There you get the interesting thing, yeah. While all 3 ships in the Klingon registration manual don't go under these Klingonese names, there are scout and cruiser, even frigate-type ships with the exact same design, and in an early draft of Star Trek 3, had a crew stealing a ship from the Romulans.
Lorcan, don't worry, we know Bigger Luke is not the same as Luke.
Yeah, oh yeah, they are. Bigger Luke and Luke are 2 separate entities, and I hate them both.
Hence why we say Bigger Luke as Bigger Luke rather than Bigger Luke.
No, we don't want to get... If that we are peering beyond the looking glass there. If we get to Bigger Luke... That's...
Oh yeah, the crew of the Stronger Bird is 132 or something like that. 142, sorry, my mistake.
Okay, so yeah, it's just a bird. It's just a bird of prey bigger. And here's the great bird. You may notice they all look exactly the same.
Okay, Web, give me 1 second.
Yes.
Fuck you, Snipe. There we go. What's
Okay.
that message?
Okay, good.
Ah. Okay. There we go. I was waiting for the response.
Yeah, I just got a voice message from Longfang that was just "Fuck you, Snipe."
I heard it in real time, yes.
Beautiful. I thought
Ah,
my
yes.
was hilarious, actually. For sure. Fine.
The Great Bird Class.
Which is, it looks even bigger. Like, I understand how this started to happen because, of course, obviously the original Bird of Prey was designed to be scaled with the original Enterprise, which is, by the standards of Next Generation, tiny. So when they started throwing them around in the Next Generation era, they had to make bigger versions.
It's almost like the scale creep between the TOS movies and TNG was ridiculous or something.
Yeah.
And in fact, that might be fixed by making the TOS Connie twice the size it used to be.
You might be onto something there. That sometimes retcons happen for good reasons.
Sometimes. Oh my god, Cribbins. I kind of wish all the clone troopers in the prequel era were named like Django, etc, etc.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like when you're playing Star Trek Online and you encounter lots of people with misspellings of classic ship names because they can't get hold of them.
Titan apparently... I can confirm... Fuck me,
Oh.
man. I can confirm the emotional state of the erection was power trip followed by a flashback to his first... Oh my god. His first sexual experience was with a female training sergeant. Jesus Christ.
Well.
Thank you, Titan, for that important update. Okay,
So basically
220 crew. There's some fucking jumps from 12 to 142 to 200 odd.
And it bothers me on some level that they don't do anything to them to make it so that the size like lines up. Like maybe like change the scale of the guns slightly.
Yeah,
or
this goes along with my the theory that I postulated before, and that the you can make a Bird of Prey style ship any size because it's basically the AK-47 of the Klingon Empire.
Yeah.
But I'm only a fan of like Burrell and Kavort. I don't need any more than that.
Yeah, I think 2 of them is enough.
Yeah.
But still, here we go. We've gone full FASA.
Here we go.
The Throne Seeker, which is how about we take a ship and then make it lumpy? Just there's something about FASA. There's just something that they're like everything has to have lumpy bits on it. Like it can't just have a smooth line.
Especially like the D7, other than the ball-shaped bit under the bridge, it's all pretty angular.
Okay, I've worked it out. Someone who was working in the art department at FASA would later go on to design cars for Fiat. And they are the person responsible for the Fiat Multipla. That is the only explanation as to why these are designed like this.
Yep, and we mean the modern Multipla, not the old one. There was one back in like the 70s or something.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. So not only was it very ugly, but they also like made something retroactively a little worse as well. Interesting. Yeah, no, I don't like this one. It's got too much. It's falling into all the design pitfalls of the Federation stuff that when it got weird.
It was the Multipla variant of the Fiat 600. Was the original one.
Okay. Although I will say this is at least a little bit more contained than some of the really messed up TNG era Federation ones, but still not great.
Fiat, fuck you! I just saw what the 600 Multipla looked like, and it's fucking adorable. I am angry that they fucked this up so hard.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love it. Oh, that is fucking adorable.
There you go, chat.
Yeah, I love that.
Although it's a tiny version because because Wikipedia.
Yeah, that is adorable, amazing.
Fuck you for it.
Next up, we have the T8 class troop transport, which it doesn't feel like it looks like a Klingon ship, but I do like this. I do like this more if it's doing the single nacelle thing, having it more integrated into the body. I actually kind of like that. I dig it like as a design, but maybe not necessarily as a Klingon design. You
I feel
know?
like it's a Gorn ship, honestly.
Yes, very much so. If you threw this at me as a Gorn ship, I'd go, yes, well done. That's the best looking Gorn ship.
Yes, it does, Podlord. There might be a reason behind that. I think Toriyama had a lot of Italian, European influence in cars. Did you see? There's a cabrio version. Oh my god! Oh! Send it over to you, man.
It looks like when you don't put the bit on the back of the Ratchet toy if you've lost it, like the G1 toy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I love that. That's amazing. Can you imagine the Klingons making changes to their design that they hear their opponents call adorable?
Oh, I mean, no, in fact, I was going to say Klingon culture is really like toxic masculinity, but no, that's just Worf. Never mind.
But yeah, where was I? Okay, so yeah, the troop transport decent. Yeah, not sure I'll buy it as a Klingon thing, but decent design. I'm okay with it. The Klingons have gotten their hands on Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, actually, I get that because it's got the like pods on the side. Thank you for your input, Brad.
Yep.
Oh, now we have the Carrier of Doom.
Give me 1 second. I'm sending chat. They started talking about adorable cars, so now I'm just going to torment them. Copy image address. Thank you. There you go. Oh, that fucked up.
Ooh, yeah, no, I didn't like that.
It still works. It still works.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty great.
The mini moke's great. My dad used to know people that had them, and they were light enough that like one night, him and a bunch of his pals just snuck round the back of the houses, the wee road where you'd park up, grabbed the mini moke and just chucked it over their garden fence.
See, that reminds me of that my cousin had a Reliant Robin for a while, and for a while, every day he'd wake up and find it on its roof.
Yep.
Because people just tipped it over because it was made of fucking fiberglass. But we now must look at the Carrier of Doom class assault ship.
Sorry, you have my attention. And I think you lost it again. That would fit in with Disco Klingons.
Which way round does this go? Because
because no, we talked about this. The angry monkey's the front.
Yeah, the angry monkey, the little angry monkey face. That is the front because we see on the other things that this little design of the nacelle that's at the back. Like we know that from other things, so it goes this way.
Yep.
And that's terrible because flying the other way, it's fine. Again, not really Klingon-y, but it's fine. This kind of weird Aztec thing that's going on here. I'm not really sure what it's doing there, but
I can't get over the Legends of the Hidden Temple face.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that.
Oh boy.
Next one.
Up.
Oh, it's all wrong. It's all wrong.
Yes. Is that the Safari one or something? Module or Jolly? Yeah, my dad told me about that years ago because he was in the motor industry at the time. Anyway, this everyone.
That is a chode of a thing.
I'm going to say shortening and thickening the neck has not helped it. Now it looks like a dick. It didn't before, now it fucking does.
Congratulations, you've just made it into a dick and balls. This battlefield behemoth is as comical to play as it is to look at.
I'm on front on a Ferengi back. Also, how Quark's relationship turned out. Oh, Grelka. This is what a D7 looks like when it had too much gach.
It's like, you know, it's like those pictures of where people have overfed their dogs, and you're just like, "Oh, bless you, little angel. Oh, you're gonna have to go on a diet."
Ah, yes, that's a good one, Modhill. That's a very good one. I love the basket weave seats.
Oh man, those little things are great. Maybe we should
Yeah.
just do this as well at one point, is just go through, is like basically put out the call for like weird old cars.
I can talk to my dad.
And we'll go through weird
We will
old
have
car
a
designs.
list. You know how Mini was like several different companies used a Mini body?
Yeah.
And they had different names for like, oh, this is the upmarket version and all that? Yeah, he knows all those.
Oh, cool. It's like how the
he used
Metro
to
was
work-
made by like a shitload of people.
Yeah, well, Austin Metro were the same company. Austin made Minis, so did Mini. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Because my dad still remembers part numbers for Minis.
Fucking hell, fine.
And he regaled me with the stories about getting the chrome moldings and stuff like that in for replacement parts for Minis, and how you had to soak them in hot water and then apply them to soften it all up and everything. That came in a big fucking roll. Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, if you would like to see us do basically this, but with weird cars, let us know. Because I'd be down to that. I know fuck all about cars, other than I like how they look. But I can very, very authoritatively say that I know what I'm talking about. Despite not actually being, because I'm a YouTuber and that's my job, to sound like I know what I'm talking about, even if I don't.
The thing is, we need to stay away from stuff like the Peel P50, the Izeta, and the Messerschmitt. Because that's too easy.
Yeah, we need to go for like stuff. You know, like I can talk. I can talk about how much I love the Lancia Stratos.
Oh, you could do
not
a video
ju-
just showing me Group B cars,
Oh yeah. Let's talk about Group B. Fucking love Group B.
or a stream where you finally draw your Group B Transformer.
I did draw him a sketch anyway.
You never fucking showed me.
Yeah, I'll put it on Twitter. I'll find it for you.
Later.
Yeah. I never gave him a name. He was a purple RS200. I didn't actually realize. I didn't ever realize because the actual because the toy of it is a throttle bot, so it's slightly cartoony. But there is an RS200.
Is there?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Searchlight, one of the throttle bots, is an RS200. But yeah. Anyway, we're on to the L-20 class fast battleship.
I mean, his lights are in the wrong place, but holy shit, he is. I would have put the lights in the shoulders personally on Searchlight.
Yeah, but it was a throttle bot, so you know they all transform the same way, and calling it a transformation is maybe giving it airs and graces. But yes, we should not get distracted by the cars. We'll do that at another time. But yes.
There we go.
Yeah, that is Searchlight.
It's the box art, so you can see what it's supposed to look like rather than a fucking toy.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the difference between? Oh my god! I just noticed it's got a shuttle bay pointing forward under it, like it's a fucking growth.
You know, apart from the weird growth, and actually I don't even mind the weird growth there because it's just a singular growth, whereas the normal problem is that they have so many of them that it just loses all coherency. I don't mind this one.
The bridge looks a little dodgy too, or the front section, because top down it looks like a D7 style bridge bit.
Oh yeah, straight up, it feels like there's mistakes made here. Yes.
The side view's fucked.
Like it does just feel they've just tried to make a more elaborate D7.
Yeah,
And
and
like,
they've
I
partially
don't,
succeeded.
yeah, I think like if you just were to go into it and like smooth out the things where things don't line up between the three pictures, I think you could get something decent. Like how you can see that the door here like finishes like a pixel. Well, the whole finishes a pixel underneath the shuttle bay
Yeah.
there, but it's obviously much bigger there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just if you smooth out those, I think it'd look all right. Because it's basically just a D7, but you know, fussed around with a bit. Yeah, I think that one's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh no.
Next, ooh, okay,
Oh,
that's a
no.
wide boy. That's a wide boy. Look at that wide man. Okay. I'm afraid I'm gonna need a second.
Yeah. Make this work, Wib. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna
Please. I don't have words other than. Yeah.
Fuck. Where am I?
Black Hawk Friday was yesterday.
Okay, sorry. This is. Oh god, I'm opening up Photoshop and I'm like, no, Photoshop takes so fucking long to open. Give me a second. This is not worth it, but I need to put forth.
Oh god.
My thing about this.
Okay.
But what are your thoughts on the
It's
Ruscat?
awful. It's awful.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's not good. It's not good.
I don't get. No.
It's a very fun ship to play, Boimler says.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. Fuck you. Like, the way that there's a cut under the neck, or the way it slopes down to the neck and, like, you know, cuts under it, I feel like that should be upside down. It doesn't... Because it's... no, everything's wrong. I hate it.
Okay, give me one sec.
Also, I don't know about you guys, but I don't like looking dead on at a starship and going, that's just, what, 5 large shapes with some other bits on it?
Okay, so let's steal this bit here.
Okay.
So, let's just take that. And then we'll just move this around like this. Shrink it down a bit. That's what I meant to do. Shrink it down. And then duplicate that. And then it's just an angry little man. It's just an angry little man who's squaring up to you. He's just very wide.
Can you just duplicate one of those again, but smaller, and make a dick, please?
Okay. I will do this for you. I will do this for you. Oh, no, wait.
Thank you so much, Wib. This is... Yeah,
That's
good.
wrong fucking thingy one, isn't it?
So I just saw what you were fucking highlighting on the stream. You're gonna have to ask Snipe to come over and see this.
Yeah, he's just got a little dingle. There we go. Is that what you wanted? Is this all what you wanted?
It's perfect.
It just does just feel like let me just I'm having a moment where I'm forgetting where everything in Photoshop is. Like if we just take this and we just take this as this. It does feel like it's just a little thing. It's just a weird little man that you sort of and you just kind of go
Yeah, I'm waiting for the.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
waiting. Okay, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. Um, there you go. There you go. That was worth opening Photoshop for.
Mm-hmm. Show that to Snipe before you.
I'm sorry, I closed it down.
Oh, tragedy.
It's fine. It's not lost to time. The stream has seen it. But yeah, a very angry little naked man squaring up. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Though.
So that's what I think about the D10.
Yeah. I'm scrolling as quickly as I can.
What do we have now?
Oh, the ever victorious class.
Again, weird cutouts, weird lumpy bits sticking off. FASA, why are you like this?
See if the dome type bit it has at the top. If that was a wider dome and maybe a little shorter, it would look better.
I'd possibly have 2 domes but smaller, and then it would allude to like the haunches of a bird of prey.
Yes, that would work too.
Because I actually don't think this. Again, I don't really see. I don't really see Klingon as much in it, like in its general, the way the panels intersect and stuff. This reminds me of more like, I don't know. I want to almost say like,
you know, when the Enterprise D encounters like an ancient ship that's been floating in space for tens of thousands of years.
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of like Trade Federation ships, honestly. Some of those. From the top, though, we don't even talk about this. This is just lumps. This is...
Also, if the struts and the cells were thicker, so it was like a chunky ship. The struts are too thin to themselves.
Yeah, there's like again, it's
compared
one of those,
to the rest of the ship.
It's one of those where there's a definite like there's possibilities here.
Mm-hmm.
It needs a bit of tweaking. I think you could make this work. Although I'm not quite sure how to process what the front end of the ship is supposed to look like, given that all 3 bits of it we see here look different.
Okay, so from the top and the side view, it looks like it's almost got a chisel head style front end.
Yeah.
From the front view, there's a tiny little square in the centre. That's your chisel head. The rest of it's like grey bleach from the cutouts on the sides. On the on each side of the bridge.
Oh shit! So it's got really thin. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't make sense at all. None of that lines up.
You're right.
That's like a third of the size of that one.
Yep.
Actually, even. Okay. Yeah, honestly, a few changes, and it's way more of a Jem'Hadar ship.
There's a ship in the Expanse that is made to look like an asteroid, and it's less lumpy than this.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, not okay with that one. Okay. Now we've got
slightly better version of the ship we just saw above.
Yeah.
Now we can tell what the bridge looks like, although it's sitting way too high on that front view.
Oh yeah, so it's up here. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't line up with how. Okay. Yeah, whatever.
Also, it's got the nacelles off an Excelsior. I think you can actually still see text in the back end of them.
Yeah, that is an Excelsior's nacelles. Yeah, you look there and it's like, oh, what does that say? Oh, NX2000. Okay. Yeah, it is. It does feel like they improved on that last one, so it is better.
I can see that mod hill, but that kind of works better as like a weird ship. I'll send this over to you, Wibble.
Oh, I'm having a look at it. That thing looks like a snail.
Yeah,
I kind of like it, but then I have
it's a space snail dragon.
I have a real soft spot for old sci-fi art, so. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I love the concept art that was made for Jodorowsky's Dune. Like
that movie would have been a fucking mess, but yeah.
I don't want that movie to have had been made because of the cavalcade of abuses of human rights that would have resulted from it.
Including his son.
Especially his son. but I would like to be able to peer into an alternate universe where it did get made.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Hypnodisc.
Hello.
But yeah, so yeah, this is it. I think I am only being soft on it because it is an improved version of what we just saw. Vorcha. There we go. That's canon
I
design.
don't think the images here do it justice. The Vorch is fucking great.
Yeah. I think that's also the problem with these kind of ships because they have the big wings and they're all about like being like having an intimidating presence. Because even though the sheer mass isn't that great, because it's all spread out over the wings and stuff, they do look better in 3D space.
Yeah.
I always found it was quite novel. This little, which I always assumed to be the bridge.
Wait, am I looking at here? Oh, the little like fucking AWACS thing.
Yeah, near the front.
Yeah, maybe.
I've always I like because that would obviously like on it's obviously alluding to the D7's bridge section. But it's further back, and I don't know. I always kind of liked it that it was slightly. It's not where you would expect it. Slightly. You know? Yeah, I always kind of like the Vorcha.
Yeah, that's great.
Decent, solid kind of update on the D7 idea, but without being just a carbon copy of it.
Or a 1PD7.
Yeah. I always liked how chunky they felt as well. I do quite like the next generation and beyond, like that sort of era of Trek when they did. So you had like the Nekvar as well that came.
The Nekvar, yeah.
I really like the Nekvar.
As like a flagship, the Nekvar's fucking perfect.
But yeah, good side. A D4 Predator class crew. Sorry, 1 second.
No worries. I had the very smart decision to have a lollipop while we were streaming. Sorry. Yeah, how are we doing, chat? What's happening? Just remember the D9 was the thing. D9. Oh, where's that from? That's familiar. Oh, Hypnodisc, I'm glad to hear it. DOS Negvar. That's adorable. I'll keep a hold of that for Wib. Thank you. Good crew is good. Good here. Did you see the Juju and bike track car? Yes, I did, Seamus. The pictures were sadly tiny, but I did have a quick look at them. Play one during the Agents of Yesterday missions, at least see one. Huh. It's been that long, I just don't remember it. I apologise. Oh, hey, chat, did you know that my viewers have spoken? I get this email every week now from Twitch, it's great. My viewers have spoken. Your viewers volunteered to share what they love most about your channel this week. Their response was clear. They love your relatability. Why does Twitch send me these? Did you know Fear is a mind killer? Yeah. Fear is a little death. Etc, etc, etc. I don't remember the rest of the lines to that. But yeah, the D4. Honestly, I quite like it. I wish it had a torpedo launcher in the front rather than just a weird strip, but no, that's fine. No, actually, the one we're looking at. Out of all the species in Trek that we haven't seen ships for, which one would you love to see the most? Ooh. Hmm. Bolians would be interesting. Bynards would be interesting. Tellarites. I like the first founding groups actually of the Federation. We've seen Vulcan ships. I always want to see more Vulcan ships, mind you. Any ship deserves to be so pointy. It's one called a D4. Yeah, yeah. Chat. Give me some other ideas. What species from Star Trek would you like to see ships from that we probably haven't? Bolians, maybe? I don't know, would the Bolians have much? That's like fancy. Brain. I hate when people ask me these questions and then every ship type just is, or every species from Star Trek has left my brain. It's the best.
I return.
Wouldn't mind seeing more Breen ships. Yep. Hello.
What did I miss?
Not much. Is everything all right?
Oh yeah. Snipe's just having some stuff.
Yeah. Well, do you want to finish up or anything? Because it's 10 o'clock and it's fine.
We can finish up this. It's fine.
You sure?
Yeah. It's nothing. It's nothing that time can help. It's fine.
Okay.
And it would feel weird to half finish it. You know.
I mean, we can give chat blue balls until the next time we stream. It's fine.
I imagine we're going to quickly descend into a lot of things that just are like this, that are just the D7, but like
You're not wrong.
Because this D4 just looks. It's just.
It looks like sort of a visual update to the D7. It's fine,
yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, I have no issue with it, but it's not visually different enough from the D7 to like care about either. What we got next? Another one, but this is just a D7, but worse because this whole midsection is just lumpy and weird.
The neck.
Oh no, it's the Swift Wind. Yeah, no, that just looks weird. It's like, oh, we couldn't make it lumpy, but we're FASA, we must make them lumpy. So we have found a way to make a D7
D7
lumpy.
giraffe. Yeah.
It feels like that's actually a hinge, and like it's so like you think
It's a hinge or like a coupler, so you can take it off.
I'm thinking it's a hinge, and like when you are behind it and you think it can't shoot at you, then the whole neck hinges around and looks underneath itself to fire at you. Very, very cursed.
Yes.
Now we've got again, a D7, but wrong and lumpy.
I don't hate it, but it's. I don't mind the shape they're going for, but the execution is not great.
Yeah, not a fan. Now we've got the Deathrite class cruiser. You know, I think the other thing. I think the other thing is that you end up with so much like the later Klingon stuff. They're riffing on the same ideas, like the same basic configuration of the long neck, the prominent chunk at the front, and then the sweeping wings. It's sort of like how the Klingon sort of aesthetic.
Hold on, I was meant to send you something, and the thing didn't stay on my clipboard. There's a TOS style Negvar in STO.
Huh.
It's adorable.
I get where they're going.
As like a skin you can slap on an Egvar, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Certainly better than the Deathrite class cruiser.
Yeah.
which is just
What's with the cutouts in the back wing, in the back of the wings?
it's a
Again, I know
FASA
it's
ship.
aesthetic, but like.
Wait a minute, is this the one? Is this the one that's on the back?
I think it is, yeah.
Let me just quick check. Yeah, it is because it's a Deathrite class cruiser. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, it's its own ship. Okay, sorry.
Let's get back to the Deathrite. Lumpy one, Seeker. There we go. Yeah, it is what it is. What we got next? The Sting Tong.
Good name. Honestly, not. I was going to say not a bad look, but the way they've got the wings doesn't really work.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but again, that's one where a little bit.
If the wings started out horizontal and then angled down slightly, rather than the way they've done it, it would look better.
Yeah,
because it would look. It's getting onto the Vorcha thing.
D2 unpleasant conversationalist. Yeah, not terrible. At least it's like. So what I was gonna say is like, even though they share the same kind of configuration, they don't all, like, of the newer stuff, they don't all feel like a bird of prey but rearranged in a different way. Like, they feel like multiple ships built off the same design principles. Whereas like a lot of these are just what if a D7 but different.
Yeah.
I understand how that happens, but
Yeah, it kind of does remind me of the Alorian ships in Generations. There's a fucking pool. Good job, guys.
I don't even remember what those look
Do
like.
you want to prank call Armus? Oh my god, the fact that joke came up in Lower Decks. Holy shit. I am a skin of evil.
Yeah, that was good.
Yep.
A little killer class escort.
Bad. Hate. No.
Yeah, the triangle motif here just doesn't really like line up with what we've seen of like Klingon design, so it just doesn't look like a Klingon ship at all.
Yeah.
So
no.
Yeah, the only thing that really lines it up with that is the wings and
the
even
general
then,
layout.
Yeah, the general layout, but even then, not really. A Dorito glued to a knit cone.
That's very specific. Good work. It's one of the salt shakers used for Dr. McCoy's diagnostic tools with form cells. Yep. Good.
Yeah, no, not a fan of that one.
Oh boy.
The next, To describe the D11 as being both weak and ugly is being too generous.
Thanks, Boymore.
Thanks, Bradwood. I appreciate what they're trying to do because I am a big fan of asymmetrical ship design.
What would help this asymmetrical ship design is just at least giving it a fin on the other side.
Yeah. But I think the problem is that rather than starting with a unique design and then trying to meld it with the Klingon aesthetic, they just lost a part when they were building their kit of a
Model
D7
kit, yeah.
and just decided to call it a new ship.
And then jammed a bunch of stuff under it to make it look like it still has room for like engineering.
Yeah. So that just does not work at all.
Sephiroth the starship.
Like, yeah, that's. I mean, again, kudos for trying, but I don't think it works at all.
Is the next one going to be the same but the opposite side?
And the crews fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
Big Xanti-ish at the front, honestly.
No.
I don't see it as a Klingon thing.
Yeah. The IKS left Twix and the IKS right Twix.
Yeah, it's nah. That's gonna be a no from me.
It's not bad, but
Although with wings, shouldn't this craft be atmospheric capable? A goof on the part of FASA, perhaps?
What the fuck are you talking about, you absolute bellend?
Oh, Bradwood.
Oh, what a goof. It's a design, it doesn't have to... Fuck you.
There's the
That's
gold...
like the people that got... That's... I watched I said about this in Livestream. I watched a video about, like, there's people that do the little, like, okay, here's some information on the ship and some better pictures of it and stuff, and I always like watching those. Like, Junk Ball Media and shit like that.
Yeah, Junk Ball Media does fun vids. Yeah, I like them.
We'll get on to this fucking thing in a minute also. And it's a picture of a ship from one of the shows that's only shown for fucking seconds in CG. And they've captured screenshots of it and they're talking about it like, News Trek, man, they just like, the hull texture's terrible. They didn't even put the livery on it. I'm like, you see it for 6 seconds and it's blurry.
Yeah.
It's and they're talking about it like it's a fuck up and how dare they. And I'm like, my dudes.
Like, they have... You know that making CGI models isn't free. Like, you have to pay a person to do it, and every bit of detail you put on is time that they are not putting into doing the stuff that's in front of the screen, front and center. Yeah. I mean, I like the Gull class destroyer because it looks like how I would draw a D7 if I was doing it from memory very quickly with a biro.
Fair. I do like that it's actually a goose rather than a gull.
Yes.
Sorry, chat. Everyone that was listening to my streams yesterday will have heard that rant before, and I apologise.
It is fine.
Dear sweet Christ, you bunch of assholes. Oh, is one of them a CG artist as well? Weird that, Pudlord. It's almost like they're talking out their arse for clicks. Anywho.
There are a lot of people who make a passable career being very, very annoyed at things that don't matter.
It's a lovely day in the Klingon Empire, and you are a horrible D18.
I mean, no, I just said that as if we've not done 2 streams now, just complaining about like designs.
This is
from the
light-hearted,
80s, but like
and having fun with it, and sort of talking about design stuff. Whereas that was them. Like, I do not have the exact words to hand, obviously, sadly, but it was basically, wow, the special effects guys fucked up. It's like, guys, it's on the screen for so little time. They probably didn't want to put too many resources in it.
Yeah.
It's not fucking rocket science.
But who's winning? We're all winning. It's the K-24
Everyone's a winner.
class escort. Hope everyone enjoyed that I made a reference to 7 Seconds of Love in 2022.
I mean, I made a reference to hot chocolate. So, like, who's worse? The answer is no one wins.
Yeah. I think this would work if you just had the like bridge section here just be a little lower slung.
I was going to say the same thing. Also, sorry I got distracted because Cosmos fell over.
Oh no, Cosmos!
And it's the little one.
Oh no, your little Cosmos.
Yeah, the little one. To be fair, I've got him standing on the shoulders of fucking Laser Prime, and he just does not want to sit there.
I have reached the point at which to have things on my shelf. I do have some things sitting on top of other things.
Oh yeah, like my more G1 Optimus is lifting Bumblebee in the shoulder.
Good. Like my Steve from accounting has just taken to living on
Ironworks.
On what? Oh fuck! Bulkhead's shoulder, Legacy Bulkhead.
Yes, good.
Although I have my shelf has officially now become 2 shelves, and they've started to slowly take over another shelf. I physically cannot fit a single other thing on that first shelf. Like, they're way too packed in there to be for their own good already. Like,
would be a shame if someone sent you something masterpiece sized, wouldn't it?
Fucking hellfire.
Yeah, if you
give
drop the
sport-
bridge section down to line it up with the top of the rest of the ship, it would be better.
Yeah. Remarkably, actually, just speaking on the thing, I did manage to fit the because you folks haven't seen this yet because it's in a video, a mailbag video that has not yet gone out. Because the next mailbag video will be coming out tomorrow, and then we've already got another one recorded, and we've got oh god, the fact we're closing up has meant a bit of a glut of things. So these videos are going to be coming out for a little while. But got sent a couple of old leader class ones. I managed to just squeeze them in on the shelf like before it because they're quite big even by modern leader class standards. So
yeah. You guys checked out the Starfleet technical manual? I think I have it.
You know, I've never actually read one. Because I know they've done a few of the technical manuals over the years.
I think I've got one of the old ones from like the TMP era, maybe.
Like I've got stuff like that for Star Wars. Like I've got the ship guide, and I think I sent. Didn't we send you the one that was the equipment one?
Yes, you did. And it's got a bunch of stuff from like West End Games in it.
Yeah. I can send you the ship one as well if you want that.
That's all right. I think I've got the ship one now. I don't remember anymore. There's too many books. Too many books.
I have no idea what you mean. I say, looking behind at the bookshelf that we had to buy to fit on rulebooks.
Yeah.
Anyway, the winner is fine.
Yeah. Again, drop the bridge down.
Then we've got this reverse Cardassian looking motherfucker.
Oh,
the Grim Reaper.
Oh, the front view is not good. Oh god.
Okay, from every angle it looks like something different. From the top it looks like a reversing Cardassian ship. From the front it looks like the ships from the War of the Worlds old movie.
Yes. Yeah, okay, I see it, yep.
And from the side I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, no.
I don't actually hate it. I again like the weird jutting out cockpit at the front, like maybe they smooth that out a little bit, and a little bit of FASA lumpiness around this midsection, but
classic FASA lumpiness.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I don't think it looks Klingon, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I hate the next one? I don't know. FASA agreeableness aside, it's not bad. Looks more Romulan.
K-27 is a fancy version of Luke's speeder. Yeah. Yeah. I see it. Because it's got the engine on the back thing, yeah. This is just an estate D7. It's got room in the back for some dogs and maybe some camping equipment.
You mean targs?
Yes.
Targs are good boys.
They are good
Sometimes
boys.
you need to walk them so they can easily pass the legs of your enemies.
It happens.
Well, the next one's a fucking sin. I'd say it's a sin. And I don't believe I was lying.
No, that's weird.
It's just weird, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even sure whether bad or anything is like, it's too much, it's just weird. Huh. It almost feels like someone tried to make a Klingon ship like for a PS1 game, so it had like the low poly kind of thing going on. And they had to just kept stripping off details. And things went a bit wrong because they didn't have a good reference material, so it's sort of, it's in the right ballpark, but it's just a bit wrong. And also, it's funny how names like become different things. So this is a Saber class, and I'm like, well, when I think Saber class and Star Trek,
Federation Saber class,
yeah.
Escort.
Oh, a Kalath class gunboat. That is a fork.
The middle bit was longer. It would literally look like this starship version of a duck tag knife.
Yeah.
A little ship is not much good against.
There's so little to it. I barely have an opinion. It's just a shape.
Yeah, it's a shape. That was a star. This was a starfighter in Ulysses 31. That wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
An Enforcer class gunboat is.
Looks good from the side and the top, not from the front. Chop off that entire section under the bridge on the front and then clean it up a little bit.
I don't even mind the bit underneath the bridge, honestly.
I think it goes too low.
I think it's the bit at the back, because that's that bit there. I think that's the offending part, really. Personally,
You
anyway.
might be right. You might be right.
A Klingon runabout, yeah.
Well, bit actually. Right.
Again, it suffers from it doesn't have a Klingon vibe to it. Like it.
Do you want another one that doesn't have a Klingon vibe?
That's a doorstop, mate. That is not a ship. That's a doorstop. I don't know how that got in here. I don't know why they felt that it was necessary for a doorstop to require warp capabilities.
Keep it rolling, Wibble.
Let's not even bother with that. That doesn't even. Okay.
Oh, it gets better.
Okay, so this is an even faster doorstop.
Continuing onward.
Yeah. Okay. No, not even dignifying that one.
Not bad, honestly.
This feels with the back end.
I would have rounded out the front a bit more rather than have it just like be a chisel edge because it looks a bit off in the front view.
Feels more Romulan-y, honestly.
Yeah, I can see that. What do Klingon shuttles look like?
Whatever.
There have been some. I just can't think of them right now.
If I remember rightly, they're one of those things that look like whatever the design department feels like at the time.
Whoa. Okay, Webb, this one's called the Unseen Creeper. And it fucking looks like one, alright.
Oh, I didn't realise that it just has the one nacelle and it's like on a long stick.
It's the Unseen Creeper trying to see in a window and jack off. That's his dick hanging out.
That's his starship dick. Okay, it's a star dick. Okay.
Star dick. This is a star dick. Sorry.
The back end of it, I'm trying to think. That really reminds me of a ship from something else, and I'm trying to remember what it is.
It reminds the back end of it looks like parts of a bunch of different ships using TNG.
I mean, yes. It might be because it looks like the weird detachable drone that comes with Sky Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I get where they're coming from, but yeah, I don't really. Again, it suffers from the difficulty of making a single nacelle thing work. Like when combined with the FASA proclivity for putting nacelles on as far away from the body as possible. It just
Alright, I'm still not past the fact it's called the Unseen Creeper. I just want to get away from it.
Well, now we have the Death Stalker.
My LCS got Titan's Return Sky Shadow for €60 and I'm sorely tempted.
That's one of the ones I just got.
How is it, Wibble?
He's quite fun. Feels quite basic by a modern leader class standard. Just because of the nature of how these things are. But I do really like how the legs turn into a tank, and the things kind of flip around from inside the bulk of it, so the legs are bulky, they're not hollow, because they're filled in with the rest of the tank, and you just fold it all out. It's simple, but I really get a kick out of it. And the plane's quite fun.
Quick review for you then.
Yeah, I certainly like it better than the other thing that used that basic transformation, which is Overlord. I think it looks better in all modes than the Overlord
Lorcan has
version.
Overlord. Lorcan has Overlord.
Ah.
And And Monty, catch you later, friend. Have a good night and enjoy the spaceship engineering equivalent of body horror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Cheers.
someone mentioned, isn't a Deathstalker a thing from Fallout? It was also a movie.
Yeah.
A sword and sorcery, bad sword and sorcery movie, from the 80s. So yeah, that name's been around for a while. Don't worry.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, if you've got the Overlord, you know exactly what it is. It's just it's that, but I think it's got a more fun design, basically.
There you go.
And also, it has red windows, and I'm a big fan of coloured windows.
Oh, of course, the red windows. Man, that
It's-
fucking laser scourge fucking thing sold out quick.
Yeah, I didn't have the cash for it when it was up, and I was like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
There's a feature on Sky Shadow to clip the jet and tank together, and it's not on Overlord. And
Oh, I thought it was on the Overlord one. Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, you can clip them together. It's quite it's pointless, but you do find yourself doing it and going, you know, that kind of thing.
plane. Yeah. Okay, Deathstalker, fuck you.
Yeah, again FASA lumpiness.
You want some lumps? I'll give you some lumps.
That's all lump.
That is lump.
That's just you know when you look on your wall and you go, what's that shape? And you go, oh, it's a little moth. It's just that.
Yeah.
I
If it actually looked more like a moth in the front end, I would say it would be a cool alien, like unknown alien ship.
Yeah, as a non-Klingon random alien ship, fine. Yeah, again, it's can you say but freaking ugly, Brad? You've defended much worse looking ships than this.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we're back into the monitor ships, which I'm guessing are the just the system defense monitors.
Yeah, we're getting back into the thing of, oh, the front of the ship is really tall, and then it just slowly like falls down a ramp as you're going.
Yeah,
along the ship.
I don't get that design idea at all. Is
Like-
it them going the bridge needs to be at the highest point, or
Yeah.
is it them just being dicks?
The thing is, you can kind of get away with that if you have other things at that kind of if you kind of have other things leaning into it, like say the Serenity from Firefly has a slightly raised bridge.
Yeah.
And but it's also got the engines on the side brought up to that kind of level as well, so it's sort of it doesn't look as off kilter, because this actually has a bit of a Firefly about it.
I'm sure someone is very insulted right now.
I mean, it's like a
and have
Firefly
every
but
right to be.
bad. You know.
Yeah. Also, Larkin, we think it's a Bradward.
Yeah, we're saying Bradwood.
K33, Sizable Adrian. K34, Junkin Duncan. K32, Large Graham. The Klingon version of Serenity, Boundless Rage?
Okay, we're getting into the end game now because we're into the death game, Defense Outpost. Which actually, this does remind me a little bit of the like turrets and things they had for the Klingons in Star Trek Armada. So maybe they did take a bit of inspiration from these kind of things. Yeah, it's Defense Outpost. It's fine. Are you okay? Are you passing a kidney stone? Are you
Yeah,
fine?
I feel like it.
Are you looking at the next one?
Yep.
That is not a ship. That is a bit. That is a component of something.
That's a shuttle.
That is not a shuttle. That is a thing.
Kinda, okay.
That is a part you clip off a sprue. It springs across the room, and then you spend the next week looking for it and intermingled in the carpet.
Okay, I'll give you this, right? It's a shuttle. Fuck, I was about to say that out loud. Thanks, hit me this.
It is a USB drive. Yes.
If there is a little slot in the side of the ship that straight up fits into and becomes flush with the hull, and then it launches out, and then can, like, you know, clip it, like, dock with another ship, so it's just a ship-to-ship transport, fine. However, it's a warp shuttle.
Yeah, that's awful. I hate it. It's awful.
Because if it didn't have the warp shuttle part, it was like, oh yeah, that's like the TMP, the little fucking shuttle that Scotty and Kirk take around the Enterprise, and it's fine.
You know what this is? I don't know if anyone else did this when they were a kid, but you'd like take an object like a remote control or whatever, and you'd like think of the bits on it as being like parts of a spaceship. So like you know the infrared sensor on the back is
the battery cover, so you had more like grooblies.
Yeah. You can do something like that. It's like someone did that with just a shape they found. Like that's like the battery pack off their like screwdriver or something.
Yeah,
like an electric screwdriver, and they took it off, and they were like, "What if this was a spaceship?" And then rather than doing what people, because some people do really cool art of that, they'll take household objects and make them into spaceships by greebling them up and like extending design elements and stuff. And on this, they just didn't. Yeah, I hate this one.
Yeah.
I hate the car.
Same.
It's terrible. Jail for whoever did it.
Jail for 1,000 years.
The Speed Star, I like its little vestigial chicken wings at the front.
Oh, God, it's one of the fucking prolapse bird people in Dark Souls 3.
But it's prolapse the
I
warp
can't
core.
unsee it now. Oh, God damn it.
It's a frog in spaceship form. Like, I like this front section. It's sort of a variant on the bird of prey thing. Like, I kind of like that section, and like, there's elements of it I think could totally work, but
it kind of looks like it's some sort of creature with that's lost its rear legs, trying to paw its way up to the surface.
yeah, it's a flightless dragon that was born. That's a species that lives underground.
Yeah.
And you know,
And I wish it was a little wider, maybe just shorter, like stockier.
even if the nacelles came out on actual proper wings, like you know,
No, bad. Leaving.
I mean, it's just a shuttle, but I mean, how big is this? Got past it. It's 90 meters long, so that's a pretty big shuttle. Okay.
Hello, Edgar. How you doing?
Hello.
Glad you caught us doing this stupid shit.
Oh. Baka is correct.
Speed Star, do you love me, bird of prey? Bird of prey, be strong, clans. Be strong, for mother. Yeah, pretty much. FASA lumps?
FASA, it's got FASA lumpiness.
I don't mind the look from the front for it being like a cargo hauler. Like that's a piece it just latches onto to carry. Fine. The top view's not great. The side, that could be refined into a good. Like the shape's fine if you count that bit being a cargo that can drop off.
Yeah, if you emphasize this bit a bit more, on like this, and like maybe make it like extend a little bit to be like an actual like underslung cargo
and
container.
maybe square it off rather than make everything curved so it fits more into the Klingon aesthetic of the time.
Yeah. This again, it's like the FASA lumpiness and cutouts.
Also, petition to call the lumpy bits fascinators.
Okay, yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm praying the next ship has them now. It has fascinators. Okay, I'm just going to be like brutally honest here. This is something that shat its kecks and is trying to get trying to waddle home with the lump in its arse end.
I was gonna say it looks like a baby who's fully filled their nappy.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's like pulling itself along, like the wings are so far forward, like dragging itself along the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I feel like there is a different, like, I don't like. Bear with me here. I feel like there is a difference between like this is a FASA lump, so we can call this a fascinator. But
Yes.
I feel like these cutouts where it feels like they've kit bashed it from lots of parts and never tried to like smooth them out. Like I feel that's a different phenomena than a fascinator.
Yeah, you're not
I
wrong.
feel those are two separate things.
Yeah.
It is also suffering from the we must get the nacelles as far from the core of the ship as possible
Yep.
issue.
Like, if just don't make the angle that steep, I think it would look better that way. God.
Yes, yes. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, I've been studying this image for a minute.
This, this bit here, this is a Ninja Turtle face. And he's he's in a sumo pose, like he's about to fight you.
Yeah. Here's my thinking. Take the 2 legs with feet, we'll just call them that, from the front view.
You know what it is? That's a fucking GoBot. That is, right there.
Yeah, that's a GoBot. Or, if I had some more to it, it'd be a Rock Lord. In that stance especially.
Yeah.
If you move those legs so they're out the back of the ship and make them shorter, so they're just like literally just like fucking tow bars that just hook on, rather than fucking sitting on the bottom, the thing would look fine. Honestly, yeah, if you just look at the top-down view and then just ignore all the bullshit you're seeing under the ship, and just have those on the back of the wings, yeah, it's fine.
That's the thing. Like, a lot of them, they get these kind of ships and they just overcomplicate things so much.
Yeah.
Like, they just make them into very complex.
As a tugboat, that top-down's perfect. You don't need all this hanging off the bottom.
It's very, very strange. What good is an unarmed tugboat in STSSTCS? Heck if I know. Thanks.
Oh god,
thanks,
they did it again! No, I can't tell what's happening in this one, I'm sorry. There's 2 sets, there's a set of arms and a set of wings.
So
one of them's behind the other, and you cannot translate that in the fucking front view.
Okay, so we've got this. Okay, so this bit is this bit. So that's up the highest. Then we've got this, which is the wing section. So that's here, which is, I guess, everything from like there to there. And then the nacelles stick out the side, and then it's got these claws sticking out the front. Okay. Okay, I get what I get what it's going for. That's strange. Not surprising they never did minis of these guys. Not surprising, and not least because I imagine a miniature designer would just look at these and go...
I was about to say, could you imagine trying to actually cast those? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, they'd be a nightmare. Like, there's a reason why I think, a lot of ships are very, like a big chunky, like old school sci-fi model ship tend to just be a chunk of something. Like this, like the Mender class tender, which I do admittedly really enjoy saying.
Hey, you know what? The little tender ship that's basically probably a tug or just a little transport ship to give supplies to ships in space dock or whatever. Perfect.
Yeah, fine.
That's all you need to do. You don't need to have shit hanging off of it. It's a little friendly ship, like a worker, not like a worker bee, but you know how the worker bee is just like fucking a very basic shape.
Yeah,
it's just you need.
Yeah, it's just a small shape. Yeah. Adam Savage a couple of videos in making spaceship models out of random bits. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you've all heard the TNG Borg cube story, right? It's made of sprues.
Well, the one they explode is made of sprues.
Yes.
The Healer class tender. Again,
Take
this
off
feels...
the bottom of the cell.
Yeah.
It's fine if you take off the bottom of the cell.
Or maybe even just pull it in and integrate it into the body proper. Like, I think.
Okay. David, I actually kind of answered this question recently on my stream, because there are people saying they wanted to see us do a stream like this, but with the old BattleTech books. And okay, here's my honest thoughts on it. I'm going to say this again. Primebee's heard this before, so I apologise. Also, hi, Primebee.
Hello,
I don't have any nostalgia, prior engagement, or any history with BattleTech. I don't know if it'd be anywhere near as fun as me talking about Star Trek, Star Wars, or Lord of the Rings, because that's the things I grew up and absorbed. You know?
Yeah, I know nothing about BattleTech whatsoever outside of owning a toy of one when I was younger, and I did not know it was BattleTech.
And be kind of the same way with BFG, honestly, because so much of that's the same ship with different guns on it.
Yeah, there isn't actually that much variation in it, in fairness.
Yeah. But well, David, that's the thing. I don't have any context for it. They can look derpy as hell, and I'll just say all of them look shit, and then people are going to get annoyed at me. Get into BattleTech now and then just stream in 20 years. I'll get right on that.
Yeah, we'll do that now. Yeah. What we got now? The Murph. This is basically the collapsible repair facility that the Federation had. Just a Klingon version of it, and I think that might be the last thing.
Might be.
That is the last thing. We just end with the arse view of a death rite.
How about a video on that huge spaceship comparison chart? No, because I fucking hate that thing. You know how you talked about Oasis earlier? That's my Oasis.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think it's one of those things where, like,
especially because in certain sci-fi franchises, scale is bollocks.
I think there is something to be said for like there's so much discussion about how things compare between universes, and quite often it's a kind of fruitless comparison. And
I have the answer to this because I've said it before, come to think of it. You're what, 36 now?
I am 36 years old, yes.
I'm 31. We're too old for the comparison shit. Like, guys, we've all heard it before. We don't care anymore. We were around when the first videos of people doing renders of Star Wars versus Star Trek happened.
I think there's like I don't have quite the strong feelings about the chart. We will just call it the chart now. I don't really have any strong feelings one way or the other. I think it's interesting to see how these things compare.
Also, I grew up at the time of like Dragon Ball Z being at its height in the UK, so yeah, I've heard all the Goku versus Broly shit over and over, or the Goku versus insert character from other series here, and I'm just like, I'm tired. I need to know if Spock could beat Darth Vader. No, there you go.
Yeah, I think there's a whole we've kind of been touching upon this, but there's the whole strata of like fandom that's based around like comparing. It's about comparing things. It's about hoarding lore as like a resource almost. Because it's like, who would win in a fight between X and Y, and the answer is whatever made narrative sense. For the story in question, and that is always going to be the answer, because
how is it how is it you always put it as my laser dinosaurs beat your something or other?
I have a dinosaur who eats force field dogs from Toy Story.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's one of those things where it treats things as power levels in universe being like mattering. Because they only really exist to establish threat levels, and that's about it within a narrative. So, like, if the Enterprise comes up against a Romulan warbird, you go, that's a major threat. If it comes up against 2 Romulan warbirds, it's fucked. Mm-hmm. That's all it really exists to be. But that doesn't mean that they can't beat them, because the narrative...
It just means they have to think.
Yeah, it's just, it establishes threat level and nothing more. But I think we all do it to a degree. Like we all sit there and go like, it's a bit weird, like when that thing defeated that thing, because like it's supposed to be like weak. We all were prone to this, because like when they establish these threat levels, it means that they are giving you some solid information on the universe that means that when they go outside of what they've established, then there's a bit of suspension of disbelief, and if the thing is not entertaining you enough, that you start thinking about those things, and of course it can come in. Like everything I taught, everything I've been talking about. Like this is never meant to be like judgmental, because we've all engaged in this stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's just.
Oh yeah, we also came up in the time of StarCraft versus Warhammer 40k.
I mean, in general, 40k wins everything because it's designed in that sense, because that's the purpose of it. It's supposed to be more extreme, bigger, sillier, more big than everything else. That's sort of its
what I always say.
purpose.
It's stupid, fucking over the top ridiculousness, but that's why it always wins.
I may have let me find it. I drew a picture of this a long time ago.
Mobius. Here's the thing. Federation ships are exploration and science vessels, yes, but it doesn't mean they can't fucking defend themselves pretty well. Also, Oberth can't do shit against a bird of prey.
Where the fuck am I? Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Some quite old art from me.
Oh god.
Great online forum death matches. Warhammer 40,000's Imperium of Man versus Star Trek's United Federation of Planets.
Yeah.
Because this is just how it's weird, because these things, they all exist within their own narrative bubbles where the relative power levels of things
Lord Zeno, no. This is the Matt Ward that is Wibble the Fish that does the Warhammer art.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'll take. Let's just do the thing. Where's my window capture? There's my window capture.
I'm concerned because I don't know what's happening.
Oh,
also,
no.
Fuck, I love that art. I can't remember who did it now. I can't remember their name, but it's
KCP
great.
Fargo.
Thank you.
I've just found one of my other wonderful pieces of art that I'm just like, why did I draw that? I have made some weird art over the years.
What, were you trying to find something in particular?
No, it was next to the thing that
okay.
I did, yeah.
I thought you were just gonna like kill chat by showing Boba Fett again or something. I was just like, oh.
I'm just having a look at the if there's anything that's interesting that you folks might not have seen, because I've been putting stuff on the internet for a very long time.
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of old art lying around. Some of which is good, some of which is less good. Although the wildest one, of course, is these things that a lot of people didn't seem to realise was me for the longest time.
Yeah.
My old Little End in Heresy.
Little End in Heresy, yeah. There's probably someone in chat going, "Fuck, that was you."
Yeah. Because those were like some of the I think these still might be the most widely shared of anything I've ever done. On the
actually,
internet.
Yeah, these are the ones who got hijacked by all the fucking Facebook groups, aren't they?
Oh yeah, and they'd like cut out the
bit with your name on it. Yeah, because they're a gaggle of fucking arseholes.
Yeah. Because I did a handful of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's the
Gilliman wouldn't have asked questions.
I always kind of liked the Magnus one.
I appreciate you drew the chest gems in third ed traditional style.
Of course. How else are you supposed to do them? But yeah, this one's always bothered me because I realized after I'd put it up that I really should have put the should have been over here on this third frame because it would have led to a better pace for the joke, because then the central part would have been even more awkward because it would have just been completely silent.
Yeah, I get you.
And it would have led into like Mortarian interrupting that to say the thing, which sort of would make the relief there even better. But that's
I get that.
That's yeah. I can't remember how many did I do 4 or 5? Oh, it was 5, yeah, because I did the Fulgrim one.
Yes.
Well, I think you can tell how it's 2012 because I was still doing things at this resolution. So
although I do love the now. How about we go? Go get your nipples pierced and sniff from methane fumes until you pass out. That's great.
I think this was written like right out. Well, I did this like straight after having read Fulgrim, so
yeah.
And yeah, this was the last one I did of Erebus being a smarmy shit. And by this point, I was also getting very annoyed with people going, "Oh, are you that Matt Ward?" Like, no, 2 people can exist with the same common name, you fucking chuds.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the kind of shit I was doing before.
Last Edgar. Last.
It was last there.
Web is very busy.
I wish I do need to do more art.
Yeah. I agree, but also couldn't need that Erebus face in the end as a channel emote. That's a shout.
There's another classic one.
Yep. I love that one. I love the way you drew that fucking Jokero.
Yeah, I was quite happy with that.
Remember how mad everyone got when they came back?
As if they weren't a thing that had been in the game since day one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a lot of 40k art. Yeah. Anyway, I probably should wrap up now because it has been nearly 4 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will. If people are into it, we will do more stuff like this. I enjoy doing these. They're nice. They're nice low.
There are more Star Trek rulebooks.
Oh, good lord.
Weight battles, perhaps.
But yeah, I think these are. Oh, thanks, Grox. Yes, the old Finecast Crimson Fist. Yeah, these streams are kind of nice and a relaxing change of pace because they it's just us nattering and using talking about the things to talk about sci-fi shit, which is what we tend to do when left to our own devices anyway. So
pretty much.
But yeah, we shall go and raid someone. Let us see who is online.
Hobby is online.
Oh well, yes, there we go then. Let us raid.
I'll just make sure Hobby's not finishing up right now. Doesn't look like it. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go and raid our good friend Hobby.
And they are playing Ghostwire Tokyo.
So yeah, go say hello. And
exactly like that. Type it like that.
Yes, type it like hello. I don't know how you do that, but I believe in you. I think you can do it. But yeah, so thank you very much for joining us for the stream, and we will see you at a later date. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.